Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures trying to get back into positive territory so far this morning. We're still struggling a little after the declines we saw yesterday coming out of that very strong month of November. A couple of sectors moving to the upside this morning. We have a number of names struggling, including the EV space, the entire electric vehicle group. Big time negativity this morning. We'll talk about that coming up. Sentiment shifting slightly this morning after Pfizer and BioNTech announced two different announcements. In fact, first off, UK approval for their COVID-19 vaccine, and then their chief medical officer came out and said that both EU approval, emergency use approval, and FDA emergency use approval may not come until mid-December. So we got a little bit of a sell-off on that news. Meanwhile, Dow Components, CRM, Salesforce, news aftermarket yesterday, as everyone expected, announcing a nearly $28 billion cash and stock deal to buy Slack Technologies. We'll have a look at both of those. Palantir shares as well, extending moves to the downside this morning. It's Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. Trader TV starts now, and we're just going to bring in Neil and Sean because our technology is a little bit lagging so far this morning, guys. So we're going to sort out some issues. Bear with us. We'll get through the hour coming up here and talk about a lot of things, guys, that are moving around in the pre-market, including, as I mentioned, vaccine names all over the place. We have Palantir. We have electric vehicles. Take your pick so far.
Yeah, and cannabis names as well. Good morning, everybody. We're going to do our best here. Obviously, we'll get through this. It's not a gigantic deal. Nuts and bolts is the market, and we still can show that to you guys. Pfizer news has some of the recovery names moving to the upside. I'm also going to be thinking a little bit about, my fave, Sundial, I like it. It's up as well. Off of this cannabis play and was in and out of it rather quickly. So I feel like it's going to be an active one. Workhorse is sort of leading the charge to the downside, but all of the EV names are heading southbound. And also Fuel Cell came out with surprise revenue numbers below expectations and also a share offering. So a bit of a double whammy for them. It should be a lot to trade today. Pfizer, just looking at it right now, getting close to a key 40-50 area actually, Sean.
Yes. Oh, someone wants to count how many times I say boom today. The word is bang. Boom is good. Bang is better. Right now, we are going to wait for some bangs here. We are short XPEV. We traded that a little bit earlier in the morning, going short, and then they got wicked on a dark pool. So we're still holding that short there. We'll see. Small shares right now in the pre-market. You guys want to look at the imbalance locator often, and here it is again. I'll try to do this to start to show every day if we can. So join us at 8:30 every single day. NEO, big one. Neil and Brendan already talked about the EV space there. So that's a big sell. XPEV's a decent sell there. XPEV off like 30% in 2 days or so. So we'll find out about that. CCL with earnings tomorrow. That's about it. Neil mentioned some cannabis. Oh, where's Weed? Oh, we don't have our animations today. Where's Weed Batman? He's going to be in the building. But just to let you know, no animations today either yet. We are working on this. So normally I would have hit Weed Batman there. And there's work, Slack Technologies. Brennan, lots to go over today, including our guest coming up soon, I guess, Mark Roberts again.
Yeah, we'll have our friend Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, coming up in about 5 or 6 minutes or so. We'll talk about everything that's happening in the market today with Mark. Let's have a look at how traders fared here at Day Trade the World. Yesterday, big numbers once again yesterday for the top 10 traders here, guys, at Day Trade the World. Look at this, number one and two, six-figure clubs here. Mostly, it's a bit of a mix, actually, Canada and the U.S. markets. You can see same story, number two here, Canada and the U.S. Once again, you got to go all the way down to number 9 before you get away from the 5-figure club. There's BOVESPA making an appearance. So big numbers coming from traders here at Day Trade the World. Once again, yesterday, so a great look there, all kinds of opportunity in this market currently. Before we get to what is going on in the pre-market this morning, let's start things off by heading over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. I wish you all a very profitable day, guys. We send morning watch list every day, and you also can always find it on our Twitter page, so follow us at tradertv.live. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
All right, guys, a few major news stories to kind of discuss before we get into individual stocks to start things off this morning. The biggest one surrounding vaccine-related news, obviously Pfizer and BioNTech saying this morning that the UK has approved emergency use approval for their COVID-19 vaccine, becoming the first Western country to do so, approving a vaccine for emergency use. Shortly after that announcement came out, as I mentioned, their chief medical officer came out and said that both EU and US FDA approval, emergency use approval, may not come until mid-December. So futures got a little bit of a move down on that news. But overall, guys, just first thoughts here on this news from Pfizer and BNTX.
Yeah, I mean, there was a small, I would say slight move to the downside, as you mentioned, the possible delays in the space. But overall, Pfizer screaming to the upside here. 3% is a good number for Pfizer. It's not always the most volatile stock, and it's been great since finding support at that 35 area. But as I briefly mentioned, I'm already eyeballing this 40-50 level here. Now, I've definitely made this trade before, sort of selling the gap on these plays, and it's been a successful one. And the last time it did not work in looking at Moderna specifically. So a bit of grain of salt here, might size down a little bit on this trade. And a couple of ways to do it: 40-50 break. If it runs and reverses off of 41.20 at the open, that little 930 trade, so long as it does not violate that price, got to go into the short trade, hopefully around 41 even. Cannot let it break the top, and that's the key to that trade. You know, you got to make sure you have that stop order locked and loaded, ready to go, and then execute and get that fill. So in Pfizer, thankfully, it's very liquid, so you can cross up not a crazy amount there with your limit order and get a good fill. Moderna was crazy. Liquidity was a bit sparse when it broke through the top. I wouldn't expect Pfizer to be any trouble getting that stop.
Yesterday, we brought you Pfizer, 39.50. I mean, look what happened. This is yesterday's chart, 39.50. As soon as that busted out, man, you got a dollar win clean with very little pullbacks on this one. So gave you that level yesterday. So let's look today. We're too high, in my opinion, on some of this news. I think a lot of this vaccine news is already baked in, but nothing wrong with this level up here, 41. We're going to attack, I guess, that soon. We're going to be attached to it, 40.97. This was the break that we were really looking for. There's the 39.50. You saw it top out in May, top out again in August, September, October again, and then finally we get the break. So I believe this is breaking out. I do like the 41 long. On the XPEV short, people asking where my target is. Right now, we're $1 in the money. I don't really have, I mean, I'm still thinking that we can get to this area again, 43-ish. I don't know if that's going to happen today, but here's my targets, man. Rate downside, we're getting close to that right now. 48, I think we break this bottom of 48.50. Then we got a bid downside at 48.17 to be precisely exact right there. And we just took a nice little win on Palantir as well, short 22.85 and out 65. Brendan, this is what we're doing today. Good idea by Neil. So someone wanted to hit the bang. So here we go. Get ready for it, because it's a banger of a trade, guys. There it is. So we hit the bang. We'll wait on getting the animation soon, guys. Hopefully that'll hit. But every time we get a big winner, we'll go bang for that. So you'll be able to see that.
You can hit the table
as we go. I don't want to hit the table because honestly,
my bad. I forgot about
if anything does happen. I know we're early today, but I did want to thank a couple members joining us for a first time. What up, Joey? What up, Keyshawn? And what up, Chris? Thank you so much for becoming members. And yeah, this is going to be a fun day. I have a feeling about that already, guys. And thank you again. That was Neil's idea with the banging. Take it, Brent.
Yeah, stay with us, guys. We're going to work through some of these technical issues. I'm happy to report that our IT team has arrived, and we are getting things sorted out as we speak. So bear with us. There was a headline that just came across here on Li Auto. Guys, right at 8:35 there. They're filing for 47 million ADS shares. So an offering for Li Auto. We mentioned negativity already in the EV space. That's going to add to the downside movement for LI today. One more thing to note on that Pfizer BNTX news. They also said they're going to start work immediately on trying to come up with some sort of timeline on how long their immunity will last for their vaccine. And they also said they're going to start a pediatric study coming up as well, which will be great for kids as well on the pediatric side. So the big news aftermarket yesterday, no secret whatsoever, Salesforce buying Slack Technologies for about $28 billion. Cash and stock deal, which is kind of interesting. They also came out with earnings at the same point, guys. So CRM and Slack here, both negative on the day.
Yeah, I think in the case of Slack, at least, there was, I guess some over-exuberance in terms of what the premium might be. And then when CRM falls, of course, because there is a stock portion, and it works out to, I think it's like 40-something% ends up being the stock portion, because about $18. Yeah, so it's around that 40% number is going to be in shares of CRM. So it's a decent cash amount. So they're forking over some coin. We're kind of, I shouldn't say hoping, but thinking that Salesforce was going to get a push to the downside here. So, if we get anywhere close to this 210 level, looks like a jump off point. And of course, we just broke a bit of a resistance point here at support level at 230. We get halfway there, 220, maybe the first bounce, and then 210. I like that play usually at about 10:30 or so in the event that we sell off of the news. Probably a bit of a fade off of 230 before that. But we're already starting to slide down a little bit faster than I was anticipating. And we still have 50 minutes to go till the open. So I would hold off on shorting in Salesforce, but I'm definitely going to be looking to bottom pick this one today. Did it way too early before the deal was announced. I don't think we'll have that problem today.
So Palantir, guys, big win there. We go bang on that one, guys. In at 22.85, out there at 22.23. I did tweet out that we were looking, and this is also on our watch list on tradertv.live. If you haven't signed up for that yet, make sure you do. Here it is right now. Also follow us on Twitter as Valeria posts all of these names if you haven't gotten it yet. There's Pfizer, here's Palantir. We're going to be talking about that next. So we'll let Brendan discuss it. But we just took a nice win there looking at 22 as a possible resistance level or support level. And it looks like we hit that nail like almost perfectly right on the head there, Bren.
Will come in this morning and join us. Lots of people still joining us, so we'll take a little bit of a break here as far as the watch list is concerned. I want to mention Disney here, guys. Citigroup with an upgrade on Disney. Had some negative news last week surrounding Disney when it comes to 30,000 possible layoffs coming before March in their theme park area. Not on the watch list today, guys, but Citigroup, it was I'm going to double check. Was it? Yeah, it was an actual upgrade and price target increase on Disney. Do we look at Disney here?
Yeah. I loved it. I mean, Disney's one of the largest holdings, honestly. I've told you that already in my portfolio, my longer term portfolio. I like Disney. I mean, obviously, we'll talk to Mark about this. I know Mark will have some thoughts on this, as this is a loved stock, I believe, anyways, on the street. So we'll just watch Disney. I mean, they have a few different, moving forward, some tailwinds, I believe, with Disney Plus, Neil. Both of us obviously are members of that, and I think so are a lot of people. I don't know if they cracked 100 million, I believe, subscribers. I think this is going to be close to all-time high. If not, we'll double check that. But 153.62 made back in December. This is on some of that news there, of Disney Plus, and then the reopening of the theme park. Like, honestly, Neil, I would rather put my money into Disney on hopes that the vaccine does come through and that people re-travel, because I know Disney's not going anywhere. I feel like I'd rather do that than some of these cruise lines. Obviously, the cruise lines are more of a casino type play where you're going to get 20, 30, 40% moves. You're not going to get that on Disney, but as far as up and away, I like Disney. And wait till they reinstall the dividend. I think that'll be big too. Exactly.
And I think, look, when you go into streaming, it's tech-based. Giving the dividend, investing back into that growth is the right play. If you're going to throw away your money in a company, you might as well own the stock anyways. Sean mentioned the that high just north side of 153. It is worth noting before we get there. Let me actually go to the 15 here. Before we get there, today it's probably going to have churned through yesterday's highs. And also that 152 last week. So there are a couple of short-term resistance points that you probably have to watch out for. In the long term, that's not really that much of a problem. But from a day trading perspective, with the market basically flat and looking a little bit to the downside, I would be at least a little bit concerned that we'd have some trouble getting through that 152 and even that 151.40 from yesterday. So, watch out for those levels in the short term, but, no issues on the long end.
Okay, guys, we'll take a pause here and we'll bring in our friend Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, to have a discussion this morning on what his thoughts are on today's market and a few individual names. Good morning, Mark. Good to see you once again. Welcome back. We are going to start things off kind of on a macro level this morning. I want to talk about this $908 billion stimulus plan that came out yesterday, or news of this possible stimulus plan that came out yesterday, immediately shot down by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Are we on the right track here as far as getting something done?
I think you're basically holding a can of worms. Both sides are going to be jawboning. If anything happens, it'll happen literally at the last second. The street is expecting something to happen. I just don't see it happening. I think the politics has gotten too deep into this. Pelosi has too many issues that she wants to fund, and McConnell wants to stick to helping the middle road people, getting them back to work, getting COVID vaccines into schools. He seems more logistically placed. She's all over the place. I don't see this happening.
Speaking of vaccines, news out this morning over in the UK, becoming the first country to approve a vaccine for emergency use. We later learned that both EU and FDA emergency use approval probably not until mid-December, if then, possibly even later. So some of these vaccine names moving around. Is there one or two that you have your eye on today?
To be perfectly frank, you're probably in the sixth inning of a game with these stocks. Sean and Neil probably have a better idea, but I think you can actually begin starting to short some of these on rallies. I think a lot of the air is starting to ease out of the stocks. I think most of the good news is already in them. The only issue is going to be how fast can they get the vaccine out, and we already know that first responders will be the ones getting it first, and the public probably on a positive note, March, April, May, but I see that the UK is not even going to make it mandatory to take the shot.
Which is another caveat to add to that question. There's also, the logistical side of things. We know that Pfizer's vaccine requires extremely cold temperatures, so a lot of kind of questions still up in the air when it comes to that sector. I have to ask you about the Salesforce work deal, probably the worst kept secret for the past week or so, announced officially after market yesterday. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Salesforce has got a huge gap at the 218 area. We're not there yet. I worry that that's where the stock will get to. So I think in here, you can trade them two-way, long and short.
Great stuff. We'll have a look at those and many more. Let's bring in Neil and Sean here and talk about some individual symbols.
Where are we, guys?
There we are.
Okay. Hey, Mark, what's up? Thank you again for joining us today. If you guys can flip over to there we go, to my screen. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, CRM, Mark, definitely on my view. I like CRM as a long-term play. I'm sure you do as well. But we are coming across some of these levels. I wrote down basically exactly what you just mentioned there, and I actually tweeted it out to our followers as well. I'm liking this. We're breaking right now. I think you can see this, I hope, Mark. We're breaking this 228 right here, which was the October low. We also stopping on, we've already broken 230, which was a September low. And then you come down into this little area, 190, 200. I mean, I think that's super aggressive and a great spot to get long. Mark Benioff, I believe, is one of the better CEOs that's out there. He understands a lot and deal making and whatnot. I'm going to go short on breaking the low today, but I do like it for a longer term play, Mark. We do have some viewers that are investors and not scalpers, and I appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much about mentioning us, knowing possibly where these stocks are going. Sometimes we do. But what do you think about Salesforce for a longer term investment? I'm personally I'm in Twilio, but I love Salesforce as well.
Salesforce, Twilio, those are the names. that you have to be in going forward. There's no question. Again, it's like anything else. You're looking for a better re-entry point. If you're long some in here, down in that June time frame
Right.
of 170, 180, I wouldn't be adding until another dip. If you bought it higher, I'd wait for a little bit more dip to add, but
Right.
long term, love them both.
So you're looking at, you gave 170-ish? Is that what you gave, Mark?
No, 218 is
218,
my target.
okay, good. I was going to say, if that goes to 170, I think we're in a little bit of problems there on CRM. I don't expect that to happen. I've been shorting XBEV here. I have a $2 winner right now. Some of these automotive names here, especially in the Chinese space, getting hit. You know, Tesla, I think, is probably the safest place. Me and you talked a little bit about Workhorse today as well on an email back and forth. So let me call that up quickly. This seems wrong to me, and I know maybe we share similar thoughts here. I think we do. The contract from trucks.com getting reported that I guess it's not going to happen until Q2, I believe it was, and they thought that with the USPS Postal Service there and some of the buying the trucks. That doesn't make any sense to me why we're down 21% on that news. Any thoughts initially here on Workhorse, Mark?
I think that the problem with a lot of these stocks, this has a huge float,
Right.
short interest, 36%. It's a tight space. I think any surprise either way will take the stock move 10, 15, 20%.
Right.
This doesn't surprise me. Where it ends up trading and how you can make some money, I think somewhere in that 15, 17 area
Right. I just
is
marked it.
probably my area.
Yeah, I just put a bubble right there. So I think we're on similar ideas. I think that's a great bottom. Not only I think is that a great bottom for trading, I think we can load up down here, but look at this support that we had. I mean, July, August, you don't see much of this when you have, I mean, I know this was, I guess it was a SPAC here, but, or no, it wasn't actually. Once you see these high flyers moving, you don't normally get such a clean base like this. So I'm with you on 15. Mark, thank you for CRM and Workhorse there.
Can I add one more thing? What you talked about Disney,
Yeah.
I completely agree. That is a tremendous play long term instead of the airlines or the cruises. Disney would be my play on a vaccine.
Great. I mean, thank you so much for that support again as well. So there you go, guys. My opinion sometimes doesn't matter, but I know Mark's does. So thank you, Mark, for that. I love Disney as well. Mickey Mouse for the win. Oh, we watched A Christmas Carol last night. There was Scrooge and the kids loving that. And look, when you have a movie that's made, I think, in the 1950s and still getting love 70 years later, hard to hate on Disney, Neil. I know you know that with young kids.
You better believe it. Disney owns the world, and they can always take my money gladly. We mentioned the vaccines very briefly, and I know you talked about a place to maybe short some of these, and I did come in here and watch the 40-50 just go on Pfizer and took this one to the short side. Now, obviously there was great support, 35, 36. And I'm not really thinking that we're going to get all the way down there. Where do your ideas on where some targets might end up, at least in the short term? And I'm sort of eyeballing this like 39.50 area, feeling like that's going to be an area where it might dip a little bit.
I think as close as you can get to 37.60, that's the area. I'm not suggesting that it won't trade 37.5, 39 and stay in that range for a few days. So right there is a point and a half on the day trading side. Outside of that, long-term, Pfizer's a great stock to hold.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Look, obviously, we do the day trading here at Pfizer. Definitely a name that I've definitely bandied about a few times here and there. Today, it is a bit of a short, just because it really has felt like, with the exception of Moderna, which it's a different beast, I suppose, when it comes to liquidity. The sell-off on the positive news has started to become a very good play there. Speaking of Moderna, big-time pullback in that name. I mean, everybody's looking at that volatility and sort of saying to themselves, okay, well, where's the bottom going to end up being? It sort of snapped back a little bit here, and I want to quickly throw up the 15 just so you can see it snapped back off that 130. It feels like to me, and that 150 right here was just such an unbelievable, I guess, fall-off point that it's going to have a lot of trouble climbing back above that price. Any thoughts on this 130 level holding on Moderna?
Well, I had a little lower. I had 119, 121.
Okay.
But it's really grabbing straws, because if the sellers come in and there's no buyer for that particular moment, let's assume the S&P, which is down 12, drops to down 30, all of a sudden the buyers are gone in Moderna. So the market slipping, probably that 119, 121 area.
Well, it actually makes me feel good because I was looking for this one. I don't know that it'll happen today, but a shot at getting that 130 to the short side. So I was looking at what could be some possible support levels. But if you're talking almost 10% from there, and it's more than that because we're trading 137 now. So yeah, still some way to go on mRNA. Mark, I'm telling you, man, it's a pleasure having you back on here. I think Sean has another point.
Yeah, it's not even a question, Mark. I just want to show you here. So our bottom isn't working. It is working, but normally we put your name up there, and it's M-A-R-C. But yeah, I just want to show you some love here, man. Mark for president. Mark, the best of the best. People loving this. They love this segment, and I just want to say thank you so much, Mark. And we look to continue to build on the relationship and the knowledge that you have as well. So I did want to say, again, from all of us at Trader TV, I'll throw it back to Brendan, but thank you so much, and you're getting love from the viewers as well.
Appreciate it.
Great stuff. Yeah, Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, joining us. Mark, before you go, I just want to get your thoughts on the cannabis group today. The UN accepting the World Health Organization's recommendation to remove cannabis from their Schedule 4 narcotics list. What do we do with these today?
Wait for dips. If Mr. Biden is the president elected, Nancy Pelosi will do everything she can to help the California cannabis business, which ends up trickling into worldwide. So if one is a believer that all of this is imminent, I think you have to buy these on dips for the time being.
Great stuff. Thanks so much. Mark Roberts, Sun Lake Strategies. Always a pleasure, sir. We'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Brendan, so I thank you so much for Mark, and I want to thank our viewers too, Brendan, because the chat is blowing up here. I mean, everybody loving Mark here on the chat. So a big thank you, and a big thank you to our nation, really, and thank you so much for continuing to support the show. I just had to bring that up because it's amazing how much love he's getting, and thank you. And we knew that, right, Brendan?
Bring you the best. We want to bring you the best content, the best information. So we went out and found what we felt was the best analyst to bring on and join our team on a weekly basis. Mark will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, guys, between 8:45 and 9 a.m. So make sure you join us. Our new start time, remember, 8:30 a.m. Eastern every single week. We have so many names to get through coming up before the open, guys. Just over 30 minutes to go before the open. If you're looking for Arun will be swinging by here in a couple minutes to talk about the futures and let everyone know what levels we need to be aware of going into the open today. We talked about Slack Technologies and CRM already. The Pfizer BioNTech news as well. Coming out earlier this morning. So big move for both Pfizer and BNTX. I mentioned cannabis there with Mark a little bit, guys. We have the entire sector of sorts on watch today as far as a group. Is there one or two names before we get too far into things here that we really want to pay attention to in your opinion?
I think we should almost stop here. There's a lot of people complaining about the sound. We're working on it, guys. So we'll just keep on going and hope that it can get better. We apologize. Okay, ACB up 6% today. That seems to be great news for the cannabis sector. Up 6%. It should be good. I'm not sure what we really want to have happen here other than a 1070 break. We have 960 bottom and 1035 right there, guys. Again, if the sound is too bad, I maybe just mute it for now, guys.
Yeah, we'll try to do our best here and show you guys in the chart what we're looking at. I was looking at CGC here. I like this 2775 level for a potential breakout. So just highlighting it right here. If it heads to the upside, we can possibly get a nice little move. It's only up 1%. I have put a stop for half my position in Pfizer. It's pre-market, so going to go with 40.70 for that half. I'm going to talk about Sundial just because I'm always going to be involved in this name. It is making a move to the upside. I actually shorted it and took it off flat right before this little crazy dark pool wick that we just saw, but it's making a bit of a range-bound trade. 78 to 80 does seem like a level that I want to play off at least first. But you have to remember yesterday's action. It was a crazy sell-off. There was support down at 67 to 70. I am looking to see. We're fixed? Okay, so it looks like we're going to be good, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, we got that one solved, so it will sound a little better here. Just want to go over Sundial one more time. It is up 14%. I'm watching this little pullback here to 80 cents, 80 to 81. That'll be the level break. I'm trying to keep every single trade in this name to about a 1 or 2 cent stop when I can. Tighter trades here, so watching that one first at 81 level. If we do get down to that 67 to 70 area that I was looking at the last couple of sessions, certainly that could be a bounce point. My first look is to try to fade it. It does look a little bit strong here, so I will take a breakout if it happens to do so at 81 as well.
One here, guys, just popping up. I'm talking very, very small. This is a microcap company, NAOV on the NASDAQ, 120% move to the upside on monster volume here, guys. I'm just going to double check on the headlines. I opened this. Nanovibronics, the name of the company here, 52%. Independent study finds a significant benefit provided by the company's EuroShield device. So I will look into that a little bit further. But a little tiny microcap, guys. NAOV going crazy here on big volume. 24 million for this one already. Let's bring in Arun. Arun is standing by, and we will have a discussion on the futures and see what he thinks as far as levels are concerned that we need to be aware of this morning. We're kind of chopping around in a bit of a range within this pre-market area. Arun, we are still in negative territory. What are your thoughts today?
Chopping around is exactly what I would use. That 50 level that I had marked off yesterday for potential along, that held out really well. It seems like below here, we are getting some decent support as well. Remember, 36.20 is the level from yesterday that I'm going to carry over. So that's still the level I'm going to look for. 50 is still the area that I want to look for some longs. It is going sideways, so that kind of gives you a little bit of hope that there's potential for a long. There's not enough just yet to take it, but I am on the lookout for some longs. 50 going down, even 45. I'm willing to buy all the way down if we can get the right setup. Not right now. Timing is obviously everything in this market, so in any market really. So I'm going to be waiting for some a decent setup. I don't have any yet, but I'm in the location that I would want to be for some longs. And of course, on the upside, we have that 36.80 that we put in high yesterday. I think that a high was like 36.70 or something, 77.50 or something like that. So if we get to 36.80, I think that's a stop I'm going to use. And if we can get above 65, then of course potential for some shorts, not automatic. It's not like that, like yesterday's trade where the 50 was the area. It would have been automatic. So this one we're going to wait a little bit more. So 36.80 on the top end, 36.20 on the bottom end. Look for some longs below 36.50. And if it's going sideways, then you do nothing, right? You do need the right setup. So in this case, it might be more of a patience game than anything else. We do have the Fed beige book later on today. So that may or may not move the market. I mean, it used to, but nowadays with the end of the year coming and very little expected between now and a new president, but that is a headline risk. So keep that in mind as well. So that's there. And we're into our, it's not the first day of the month anymore. So do we get the added volatility of being the end of the month, beginning of the month? It's a couple of days in. This might be a quiet day, but you know what? We can always hope for some more volatility, right?
Saw some attention return to the tech group yesterday. Apple was higher. We saw some of the chip makers moving around a little bit. Micron again this morning moving higher on a couple of upgrades. At what point do we shift focus back to the NASDAQ as being kind of the lead group here?
I mean, any day when the tech rallies more than the S&P or the NASDAQ 100, if it ever outruns the S&P, you would take over, or you would take a look at the NASDAQ as the index of lead, right? It just seems like a lot more now. The S&P, there's been a transition I've seen, at least in terms of volume and in terms of just stability, really. It's more leaning towards the S&P, but at some point when Tesla gets involved, it will move the S&P just as volatile as the NASDAQ will, right? Maybe not to the same degree, but it will become more volatile given the price of Tesla. So at that point, I think you can go interchangeable. It can be either one. But for now, I like the stability of the S&P. And of course, if there's, especially towards the end of the day, when the Apple, Facebook, and those stocks have imbalances that need to be done, and given the price level or the prices that they're at, you're going to see some big movements in the NASDAQ, and you see it in the S&P too. Oddly enough, you see a lot of movement in the S&P, given that it's the NASDAQ stocks, the big Apples and the Amazons that are really moving it. But it's unusual that I'm noticing 15-point moves in a minute on the S&P, and a 50-point move in the NASDAQ. That's kind of expected, but a 15-point move in the S&P is kind of surprising. So right now there is something going on in the S&P that I can't really get my hands around. But again, depending on who's leading or lagging, you kind of just move into that index. I've kind of niched on one just because I have a better handle on it, but I do move into the NASDAQ ones, NASDAQ futures towards the end of the day just because of the added volatility.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in with Arun coming up tomorrow at about 9 a.m. for our daily dose of futures levels that we need to be aware of. A lot more people joining us this morning, guys. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. We do this every single morning, guys. The market is open between 8:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Talk all about the symbols that are moving around in the pre-market. We mentioned, maybe we can bring Neil and Sean back in here, guys, and we'll touch on maybe just a recap. We went through Slack and Salesforce real quick, guys, but maybe just a recap top down here. Pfizer, BNTX as well. Just quick plans, guys, on all four of those.
Yeah, let's start with the big deal. Of course, it's cash and stock. We did talk about that with Slack and Salesforce here. Now, we didn't mention specifically workforce levels. And again, I usually trade the acquirer when there's a stock portion of the deal. There is a handsome amount of cash. And I think anticipating there's a dip in Salesforce, you probably have at least a decent shot. If we get to some of the levels that Market talked about, then you're going to start to think about that 42 level on Slack. But because it is a hefty portion of that 27 billion is going to be in Salesforce stock, that is going to be the mover today. I'm looking for an opportunity to dip by. A lot of times what will happen here is, at least in the first couple of hours, or at least the first hour of the session, you will see the acquirer push to the downside and find a bit of a bottom. I wanted to take a look at shorting off of a 230 level. I'm not sure we're going to quite get there off of the open. I think that's going to be a little bit of a problem if I wanted to catch it. But we've already sort of broken down through this 228. I'm looking at this 210 as a possible support area from a fundamental standpoint. I know Mark liked the level lower, I think, for buying in terms of a dip if you're not day trading. But I would love to catch a turn down that low if Salesforce gets any kind of momentum to the downside.
Yeah, no, Salesforce work. I mean, you got to watch it. I already tweeted out earlier about Salesforce that we liked the low of the day, whatever that was going to be, and that appears to be right now, and then using 230, 229 as your spot. I mean, our animations aren't working here, else I'd hit one right now, and I just did. So all we're going to do right now is bang, because XPEV right now, guys, short 50, it's at 47.25, or what am I short at? 49.83, just as good enough as 50 there, and we're touching 47.20. You could see short. We actually got wicked out here on I didn't even realize this. Brendan and Neil told me once it happened. Of course, my bad, but we got wicked out here on an 8 o'clock dark pool dump. You see the dark pools went down as low as 48.48 and then as high as 50.50 there. So my triggers got hit. But look at this, guys. XPEV, a $3 winner to start the day here. I don't see any areas of support on this name, and we'll just keep going lower and lower here on XPEV. We can look at a daily chart. There's nothing down there. There's nothing there. I just had that nano up there. Good look there. Yeah, there's nothing here. Well, there is something here. I think you could get stop at 45. We've talked about that a whole bunch of times. I still have those 45 puts. Hopefully those are back in the money. We had those from last week. And this one's still going to the downside. I also talked about NEO. Holy wow. The level I gave for NEO was $40.50 right here. Wow, and we are tanking. Quick look, Brendan, before we go. I know you wanted to talk. Wow, Palantir. We also had a monster short on Palantir that cashed in. You can see, I think we're already up 50 or 60 cents on that name. But look at NEO. It's getting demolished here with this huge imbalance. Pfizer's a buy, NEO's a sell, Palantir's a sell, and there's XPEV. But guys, 3 million shares to sell on open here for NIO. Watch out, man. Look at this spread. This thing is going ham right now, Brendan.
NEO with a Goldman upgrade today as well. 3 million shares to sell on open on the imbalance locator there. I put Li Auto separately on the watch list, guys, because they reported Talked about NEO yesterday. We talked about XPeng yesterday. Li Auto today reporting November monthly deliveries nowhere near as impressive as both NEO and XPeng were. 25.8% increase month over month as far as deliveries are concerned for Li Auto. So another one, guys, in this group. But let's have a look at Li.
Remember, they'd made a spike up when the other deliveries had come in. So they'd already made a bit of a gap and then resistance at 41. Now you actually, XPEV, I mean, that level that Sean's talking about, it's like already 3 in the money and then probably a couple of dollars down, so you get some support. Li Auto, on the other hand, has a 30 level, which is getting a rather close. So I'm looking to short a pop into this one, and I'll sort of zoom back in so you can see here. I'm looking to short a pop into about this like 33 off the open if we can catch it. I think that 30 sticks out like a sore thumb when you go to the higher time frame on Li Auto. You're probably going to be trading a lot of these in concert today. So you pick the one that you feel is going to be the best mover. If it happens to be NEO, if it happens to be XPeng, if it happens to be Li Auto, that's perfectly fine. Right now, I'm looking at Li Auto for a 33, a bit of a bounce play. If I can short that price, fantastic. Watch out Pfizer. I got a half at that 70. The other half, we get to the high of the day. If that breaks, hard stop, 41.20 for that potential rollover trade. If it holds it off of the open, and let me just quickly jump back over to Pfizer. If it holds it off the open, Moderna didn't. Then I would roll into some more shares on the downside. So that's the only way I would get back in or add back into the position is if we hold that 41.20 off of the open. If it does not, we'll just get out of that trade. And Brennan, there was one, and you can see the position I have in NXTD, Next ID. This was a big time gap up here. They essentially voted not to have a reverse split. They're a bit of a crypto play as well with a Bitcoin platform, but the rollover was hard off of 85 and hard not to take this consolidation for me. So I did short this one off of this 64 area level at 61.5. I'm going to take some out at this support level down at 56. You can see I've already done a bunch of that here. So it's around, like that 5% mark, or 5 to 10% where I like to get that first leg out. I want to make sure I hold on to some in case it breaks it. This one looks like the retracement is on. I know it wasn't on the watch list, but I wanted to make sure we talked about this name as it's done 20 million volume here in the pre-market already.
Okay, Palantir, we've already shorted that. There's a lot of talk on the chat. We're short and we're out, man. We used that bottom like we talked about again through the watch list and through Twitter. 22, 25 there. Nice little short 23 out and out. And now we're looking at it to go long side there. I don't have a long side bid on that. A lot of you talking about, and Brendan, we'll throw it back to Brendan in a second. But AMD right now, look at this, like 92 up to 94. I loved it taking out yesterday's high. We talked about that as well. But you know what? AMD, a beautiful long. And thank you again for everybody who joined me with this long. We bought it back here, guys. 74, 75 off of this level. So a nice little long trade. It might have been, no, it wasn't this trade. It wasn't, was it October 30th? Yeah, it must have been. It must have been right down here when we bought this. So a good little long down there. And I know Rob on the production side of things here got out 86, 87. You're now up to 94 and taking out day's high. I told Rob, didn't I, Rob, that we could be, he's busy, but near 100 by Christmas. So Merry Christmas. Look, I'm going to try to hit the thing now, but it doesn't work. Merry Christmas to the AMD longs there, Brendan. Oh, there it is right there on the bottom. Good news there. Thanks.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, just throw it up there for everyone to see. But yeah, Amazon Web Services going to use one of their chips, one of their new chips. So big news. We saw that with BlackBerry yesterday. Anytime you put Amazon in the same sentence as a company, tends to be positive. Although, why don't we have a look at BlackBerry, guys? Because that was a pretty epic sell-off in the afternoon. If we can, guys, let's jump into BlackBerry maybe and have a look at it.
Yeah, just hopefully we'll get this one resolved. We did fix it before. Apologies if you are hearing me sound a little bit like Darth Vader. I am not your father. It is the way. And man, Disney, Mandalorian, what a great show. Look, BlackBerry, monster sell-off when it rejected 10 yesterday. Now, we have come back a little bit today. You'll see up 13%. But there was just a lot of sell action off of this 850, 860 area. We're trying to get back above $8. I think that's going to be the key jump-off point for me. The other level I had written down was this 770 area here. So it's like a $7.70 to $8 pocket that I want to play the break of on BlackBerry today. If it gets another leg to the downside, I think obviously you have to be concerned with yesterday's close at 7 even. That goes without saying for any short position. But if it takes out the 8 even, you might have a little bit of a secondary push here. So It might actually be a position that comes in before the open on BlackBerry. I'm willing to do that. It's very liquid. It's done 5 million shares, and it's only an $8 stock. So no trouble getting into this one in the pre-market, guys.
Okay, yeah, no, look, BlackBerry yesterday, we actually had a great trade on BlackBerry, and I think the same thing could be done here for AMD today. This level right here, yesterday's high. See, sometimes it's funny because you think do people know something before it gets released? I would say yes to that comment, but 93.90 was yesterday's high. Let's see if we take that again on open here. I kind of like that trade. The problem is AMD here approaching all-time highs of $94. It just made it right there. So 94.20. I like this 94.07 break. And again, guys, thank you so much for all the support there. When we do have that sound problem, I don't mind seeing that, and glad it's fixed now. So thank you for that, guys.
We'll continue along here. Just noticing that NAOV. This is AMD. I was just noticing that NAOV, that little tiny microcap we were talking about, just made a day high. So crazy volume still for that thing. Positive news for NAOV. Let's go to the next one here. Zoom Communications, Zoom Video. I mentioned it earlier in the week. Obviously, earnings. They came out with their current quarter forecast and 2021 forecast that ended up being downside. Or not as good as expected. So further downside. We're back to this important kind of 400 area for Zoom again, guys.
Yeah. I mean,
400.
We're going to talk always about vaccine, and we're going to talk about COVID, and we're going to talk about the new normal. And I think if the new normal is going to be work from home, there was studies. Part of this was S&P Global buying info yesterday, in a big deal. There's a lot of reports out there that from various CIOs and whatnot that people aren't going back to work, man. I mean, they're going to stay at home. They're going to work from home. Companies are going to save hundreds of millions of dollars on travel, on food, anything, and the employees are going to save as well on all of those. So I think this is here to stay, Zoom. And honestly, this kind of a pullback expected. I know it might be hard to say that for people that are invested at higher levels, but look at Zoom. I mean, just back in March, when COVID started to be a thing, and Zoom's IPO, we were pretty steady here, $80 all throughout, and then we get the massive run up here, $580. I mean, that's just crazy. A lot of you see the volume increasing, but not getting up or down like crazy. This is what makes me think right now that Zoom's pretty much settled down here, and I don't expect it to have monster huge moves like this. So this kind of break of the 50-day moving average, that makes a lot of sense to me. We always talk about how much I love that as an indicator on a daily chart. So right now, I just have eyes on this level, and I think 350 is a fantastic long-term buy, honestly, for Zoom. By long-term, I mean in this case, maybe a month or two where we can get back. This is selling pressure is going to come off their earnings release. I don't know what people expected. It seemed good for me, but we'll wait to see on this one. Zoom, a lot of pressure to the downside right now. Watch this 368 level.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a similar stat just to talk about that stay at home, not stay at home, be here forever, but it was along the lines of up to 35% of business travel could not be coming back in terms of air travel. I mean, if that's anywhere close to true, then you have to believe that Zoom is gonna continue to grow its presence, at least in terms of its business clientele. And I was looking at 375 before it even got to that 370 area. As far as today goes on Zoom, I honestly do think that if there's any kind of a bounce, you call it a 410 to 420 range. Whatever, I should have wrote 420 on my thing. Maybe I will. 410 to 420 range could run into a bit of a resistance. I think that's going to be a jump off point at some point, especially if we can hold back above the 400. So I don't want to completely throw away the notion of 400 just yet. We're only a couple of dollars lower. In the event that somehow we hold above there, I'm watching for the 10 to 20 as a bit of a chop zone before a potential breakout. But that may not be today.
Yeah, exactly. We'll continue along here. We'll move on to the chip sector. Micron back on watch, gapping higher again this morning. Not terribly active in the pre-market, but Deutsche Bank and Zacks Investment upgrading the stock again today. We got to all-time highs yesterday, and now a couple of upgrades for MU. You can see 0.75%. This high up here from yesterday, just in shouting distance.
I mean, the space is super hot. I just tweeted, I put in our chat about XPEV. I have a 46 target for it. Okay, we'll wait here for MU. If that happens, that'd be fantastic. We'll wait for that one. Look, Micron's been an undercover agent here in this rip. We don't talk about it much. It doesn't get much play, but yesterday it did. So, you know, off this 49.50 level has been fantastic since late October. And now you're up a nice, I don't know, 50% in a month. So there it is, looking to take out highs. I think it can happen. It's only 300,000 shares, which is decent. But yesterday's move, I mean, if we call up a 3-minute chart here, that's really what sort of, I mean, it's been starting for a while, but, you know, you just see the day before, which would have been, what day are we today? This would have been Monday. Pretty flat and not much happening even from Friday. But then we get a couple upgrades like you mentioned there, and then it's off to the races yesterday, 65 up to 68 and change. I actually look for it to break this level today. You know what? Let's just call it 68.50. I like a 68.50 long on Micron. You got to watch out. The ES is, here we go. The ES is pointing down. I think we switch this to see what the NASDAQ is doing quickly here. NASDAQ down even more. So Micron may give some back here. And if that does happen, I love a 66.90 short or so. So I think the top or the bottom, but, you know, let it break out one way or the other here.
Yeah, I mean, great coverage on Micron. I know a lot of times the focus, and it should be, is on AMD or maybe Intel when you're beating up on that name. I want you guys, of course, we're following along with the watch list. For anybody that isn't getting the watch list or having any trouble with it, getting it, remember, we are tweeting out at Trader TV Live's official account, the symbols at least. So scroll down to the bottom there. IBIO is a bit of a mover to the upside. You have seen I've been in position in it, and I apologize for not getting to this one earlier. It's just essentially, look, anytime I see a gap up that does this, you get an aftermarket high and then a pre-market high at the same level, I'm usually looking to short the first consolidation I can. Now, there was a shot here in the 160s. I was a little bit late to the party. For a 163 is what I got on right now. And I'm going to start to take some off on the way to 150. And the reason being, you know, it closed at $1.45. And, you know, obviously to get 100% of retracement of the entire move is a little bit rich. So I will start taking some off at least halfway and then down towards that 150 level where I'll likely be flat. So IBIO do have this one short. Somehow don't have Sundial short, but I am looking at this 70 level. If that breaks, I will get it shorted into Sundial. Still like that 80 to 81 for a potential breakout to the upside.
All right, guys, let's go to the airline group. We had positive vaccine news, obviously, coming out of the UK early on this morning. So there was initial positivity, but JetBlue, want to focus on JetBlue. Again, not one we talk about terribly often. Big move down in the aftermarket yesterday on an oversized offering. So raising some funds for JBLU here, down 8%, trending lower. The rest of the group is kind of just hanging out around break even to slightly into negative territory.
Yeah, so I was still looking at CCL here, but we can look at JBLU quickly. NASDAQ, I guess, as we call up New York, and that doesn't work. JetBlue, yeah, look, I mean, these names just, I don't know where the bottom's going to be in a lot of these airlines. I mean, I love Boeing. We've talked about why they didn't order from Ryanair today, but here goes JetBlue again. Obviously, they don't make planes, but we'll wait to see here on a bottom look there, down 8 and a bit %. It's not a great look for JetBlue. If we look at a long term, we're still high from this 13. So I'd look to maybe get long. I believe in this space, especially with the way the economy is going. This was a high flyer, you know, post or pre-COVID, I guess, and now we're heading back here. So watch this action around this 50 period down to 13. But for today, I didn't even realize, Brendan, actually, that it was 2 million shares. Neil probably has a better plan of action on this one.
You had asked me that like 20 minutes ago. No, to be honest, you go just looking at the 15-minute chart here, guys. I look at this level, which is sort of sticking out, going back into last, a couple weeks ago now, the 16th, that 14.25 bottom, which just got breached, and then you had a bit of a gap up off of a 14.10 close the session before that. So this price area, that's the kind of thing that I would stay away from. Like I was looking to, I actually wanted to short this one at 14.50 off the open down into that same price range we're hanging into right now. So the problem is now that we're here, hands off. Maybe if we bounce here, that could be a sign of strength at this particular price. But this is exactly the price range that it needs to hold. If it gets below there, probably some chop to the even, and then potential downside into what you were just mentioning, Sean, into the 13. So maybe that 14 even is going to be the play. For now, in this 25-cent range, I don't want to be touching it in here.
All right, guys, we talked briefly initially on fuel cell. Maybe we can go back to F-cell here. Big move down on an offering today. They also gave a forecast that was kind of weak. So 22%, a couple of levels marked off here from way back when this thing was still on the way up. In that kind of renewable energy group or clean energy group, if you want, but not good here. Back to $7 for F-cell.
Yeah, and look, not too good is a bit of an understatement. I think I said double whammy was the term that I tried to use there. We have a surprise negative or surprise, I suppose, worse than expected revenues, and then you also do that share offering. Now, 7 even, good level. I'm also looking at 660 and 680, like these two bottoms down here. So I think there's still possibly some downside action. The 730, I think, is probably going to be where I would go kaputs. Just watch out that NXTD. I got half out for winning trade. I talked about these in penny stocks. I'm trying to limit to like a penny or two, tighter stops on those trades. I have made a few cents on it already, so it'll be basically a flat trade. But it is testing that 64, and if that breaks, want to make sure I can get out of it. But I'm still looking to short fuel cell off of 730. Then down towards that 650, which I think could be at least a temp bottom on fuel cell. So hopefully there's a little bit of buying that will get me into it. It's another name where we just talked about JetBlue. You had to be really, really early on the gun here, maybe taking it at like 7 a.m. or 7:20 to get some of those prices in front of the 730 that I like.
Okay, so we're just putting some orders in for AMD to go out the top side here, 93.75 or so. What I did like was Palantir. We keep talking all about it. I'm going to show the imbalance locator in 2 seconds. Here, I love this 22 break, guys. It's been good for a while. There's 22, a bunch of spots, especially on a larger time frame. If I open up a 20-minute chart here, I'll go 30. You should be able to see some 22 levels. It's just right here. We've had some bouncing spots a couple times off of 22. There it is as it loads. So I definitely like that. We'll put it back to 1 minute. The next thing I wanted to talk about, so XPEV right now are out on this one, 46. I could take right now $3, but we're going to wait on that one. XPEV to the downside. There is NEO news about it being delisted. They have 3 years. There's some compliance issues there. We'll wait on that. I don't think that, that could be starting the pushback. Here's the imbalance locator right now, and you're seeing, guys, we'll call up NEO right now, $40.25, but this has been violent here in the pre-market. So watch out. These sizes just keep flipping back and forth. Lots of size all over the level 2. Wait for this one. I'm not going to get caught in anything right now. Oh, there we go. Nano, your little trade there, NAOV. I guess I got to find the exact pronunciation of this. Nanovibronics, I guess.
I think it's Vibronics.
Vibronics,
doesn't
perfect.
matter.
We'll take it, and we're long. So we're long at this move, breaking the high of the day here. Long right now at 71 on NAOV. Let's see where this goes.
Okay, it was a urinary catheter product that they have that came back with positive test results when it comes to preventing certain types of cancer. So that was the news on NAOV. So their biggest and most successful product coming back with better than expected news today, which is obviously positive when you're a $9 million market cap. So very, very small company. We talked about IBIO. We talked about fuel cell. We talked about JetBlue. I think we made it, guys. We made it through the entire list for the first time, and as long as I can remember anyways. Why don't we touch a little bit on the cannabis group, because I just noticed a couple of them making moves once again. Decent news on the positive side of things for the cannabis sector. Is there one or two that you guys are going to watch?
You guys know I'm watching Sundial. Obviously, I'm back into this name. I wish I had held the short that I had earlier, but I'm now watching this 70 level. It just bounced off a bit here. Not a tremendous amount of size. I know it's still a couple of minutes till the open, so it's not like there's a monster bid at 70. But I looked at it as a bit of a low. We also had a bit of chop in the aftermarket right in and around that price. So 70 breaks. I am going short. I'll try to keep it to a tighter stop. If we get back up to that 80-81 range, I would definitely look to short off of that level as well, with a potential breakout. If we get through 81, I think maybe the jailbreak towards yesterday's, some previous highs, to say the least. There was a bit of a top there at 84. I know we got a test of $100 even. Maybe that would happen, but that 84 would be that first little spot you have to churn through if the 81 does break. I also have that IBIO. We went over that. Pfizer, the second half of that trade, still holding on to back down towards that 40-50. If it holds the top, then I will roll into more shares, but not adding unless that happens first.
So we already
Sean, I was going to say that.
Yeah, we took that
NAOV.
nano. Is that what you're talking about, nano
Yeah.
there? Yeah, we took that out. We took that out, not out. We took out 20% there at 78 or 79 for 8 cents. Now we're up to 83. I have another order at 84. Bang, right there, guys. Bang, there it is right there. We don't have the animations today, but a big win here on NAOV, guys. Yeah, I'm trading everything here. Large caps, small caps, micro caps, everything. NAOV for the win. So we have a nice little 20-cent winner on NAOV right now, and looking at we're trying to get $4 here on XPEV as the market's about to open up.
Yeah, just I was having a look at NAOV. 120, I think, stood out for me, but I had some issues with my daily chart, so maybe one of you guys can confirm that. I mean, $2 could be a psychological level as well. I got to check to make sure we can actually short this name without having to pay for it, although we are fortunate here at Day Trade the World to be able to pay for those shorts.
Yes, sir.
It is hump day. Wednesday hump day, of course, and we got to ring that bell in just a few seconds here. Got a few positions on. Sean's got the bangers. I have a couple of flat ones, but Valeria is on the bell, I do believe, this morning. And of course, I forgot we have no animations today, so I'll count it down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. This market is open.
Geez, we're going to wait for some Palantir up. Yeah, that woke me up for sure. Thank you, Valeria, with the aggressive bang.
She's not messing around.
Of the bell. XPEV not open yet, but we're going to wait to see what happens here. We're bidding 46 in change on XPEV. I think it's going to be down.
Sean, BlackBerry, I don't like shorting BlackBerry. It feels bad, but it broke that 70 to the downside. I get this 65 in here. Immediately took some out in front of 750 because this is what I saw. Like instantly, it was 100,000 shares. It's a little bit less now. It's trying to churn through. It just broke it, so I guess I was wrong in doing it. Let's go BlackBerry to the downside. This is what you get for not making another phone for me.
Okay, yeah, exactly. BlackBerry yesterday was demolished, or in the afternoon. It was a great trade during the day. Here goes Nano, man. Look at this out. Bang. Oh, yeah, we don't have it. We'll hit the chicken dinner winner, but another banger there for Nano. So we're going to look at that. Watching XPEV. Oh, there it is. Neil, it's halted. This is what a halt looks like on our screen. So halted. Probably not news pending, as that news is already out. Brendan gave it to us there.
Oh, I thought you meant XPEV. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, so sorry. Palantir, guys, breaks, and your boy is short. So here we go, guys. Let's see where we can get out. Let's give us some 61s. We got 61s already. Big trade alert here on a short of 22. We said we'd go ham, and we did. Bang, that one out again. Big trade alert on Palantir, guys. Big trade.
Just going to go quickly here. I got another leg out on BlackBerry at 735. It's starting to round back up to that same entry price around 770. If it does a rollover, I'm looking to add back into this position. Remember, 8 was that key price. I was going to go long on an 8 break. I probably still will do it. Brendan, what's up?
I just wanted to show you a couple things real quick. Nano Vibronics here, NAOV, $9.4 million market cap. The free float, guys, is 11.9 million shares. Already done that. Surprisingly, only 0.7% on the short side. So short interest, not huge. Just wanted to mention Workhorse as well. Initial strength in some of the EV makers.
Man, we are just absolutely monstrous and loving every minute of this day so far. We got out, like, this is what we do on the show here, man. I'm like, I hit stocks with big shares, right? And so when you see this, all I'm doing is bidding out as much as we can here on Palantir. So those were great outs, man. We got some bottoms there in the 20s. Good out there. And now we have 30% left. Let's see if it retakes 22. If it does, we'll get back out of that trade. But I do like this one. We could actually even hold this one till about 22.10. Make sure it does break. But Palantir, big banger there. $3 in the money on XPEV. Let's see what it does when it takes out 47, guys.
And I want to quickly back over to Sundial. I absolutely love that long in the NAOV, Sean. Just watch out for this this $2 range when it comes back up and does open. It looks like a volatility halt off the open. But I do want to come back over to BlackBerry first. Sundial. Talked about tight stops and getting out of it rather quickly. I just missed a shot to roll over when it did. I just literally said if it failed here, I would try to get some more shares back in. The second time it pushes up, I'll probably hold off on that, at least for the time being. I still like an 8 break on that name. I've added back into Pfizer at 40.50. Brendan, what's up?
First of the cannabis movers to pop up so far today, ACB, 6.5%. Big volume spike there at the open. Just got back up towards 10.50 here for ACB, guys.
All right, we're just looking to see what's going to happen here on XPeng as we just did break, guys. We're sitting at 46.05. Let's go. Bring this to me, baby. Another monster, huge move here on XPeng. Why am I even waiting for 46.05? I do not know, but I'm going to sit there anyways. Here it comes right down to the bottom here. My options are going crazy as well. Get it to me. Bang! There it is. A nice little trade, and that's the out right there. We go bang on XPEV. What a big trade that was, guys. $4 in the money with a banger on XPEV to start the day. Booyah, guys.
Buy XPeng, and I think that's one of those things, guys. When the floodgates open up, you've got to beat up on the name. And it's not hate. It's just trading. That's what it's all about right there with the bang. I don't know what the bang mug is today, but you probably need that one for that trade, Sean. Sip that coffee gingerly out of that mug.
The problem with the mug is it actually says boom.
What?
I've talked to Valeria about that. We'll figure that out.
Well, I can't read apparently. Did not get back into BlackBerry, but it is still working down in the money for me. Sundial, remember we talked about tighter stops in this? This is exactly why. And I had said 70 break, I'll take a shot at it. I got some out there. I started taking it off at 66, so all was looking good. It broke back up. Again, I'm only going to risk a small amount. I get out at 71. I wanted this thing to test back up to 80, 81 before I actually was looking at longs. But if it can hold support at 70 even, I maybe jump into some trades that way as well, guys. So lots of ways to play this. But remember, tighter stops on this name is definitely the way to go. There was monsters to be had. When you're in the money, you just hang on to it a little bit, but no reason to hold it against you too far. IBIO was the other one we got into, of course, in the pre-market. This one is not causing too many troubles. I usually miss this reload. It gives me the exact same price off the open while still holding a 165 stop.
Man, we are just monstrous right now. AMD, guys, what a great trade that was. Also, we talked about getting long through 93.70. We take that exactly, and that's another 30-cent winner, man. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4, and just a monster day already, guys. Go, just keep ripping up. I don't even care about these things anymore. We're monstrous, guys. What up, B?
Initial strength on Pfizer here. We mentioned Pfizer and BNTX breaking 41 right around that pre-market high as we speak for Pfizer, guys.
Yeah, 41.20. If I miss this stop, then I'm a fool, because I remember last time Moderna did not get out. Plenty of liquidity on this name here, guys, so it's not going to be a trouble. I actually just got out, got the reverse into the long trade, so it's a bit of a breakout. IBIO, I just had to adjust my stop
AMD.
because I took more into that position. AMD on the run, but now bullish on Pfizer. It's now taking the top, guys.
Yeah, AMD on the run, to say the least, guys. Big, huge trade on AMD. Look at what we're doing here on this stock, guys. We just got out at 94.50. Like, I'm going to sit at 50s every time and get that out. So what a great out that was. Like, wow, you're going to think that, this looks fake, how good that out was. But the high of the day is 94.50, and we literally got to fill, as I look, at 47.50. So like 47 and a half. We got to sort of a dark pool. Well, here it goes anyways. So now you don't have to question that, Phil. As AMD, guys, $1 in the money on this stock. Look at NNAOV, Neil. It opens back up, NAOV, and it just rips again. So now we'll wait to see on this one. We're still long this. We get out of our Palantir, but what a monster trade that was, as we did get out of that. So now we're going to wait to see on a pullback back down. But yeah, we're rocking and rolling, man. Cooking with gas today, man.
Cooking with gas. I got the gas at home. It's what it's all about, guys. Fuel cell does not give you any test a higher, but it is taking out the lows as we speak. I'm going to jump into this party. It might be the only way to play it, to take the short on the low of the day. Pfizer pulled back. I took some out in front of 41.50. Might have to buy the dip on that as well. IBIO continues to slide in. BlackBerry also working in the money. Brendan, what's up?
AMD, guys, first off, all-time highs just hit there for AMD. This one as well. GME, GameStop running, just broke through 1625, which was a bit of a pivot from yesterday on a volume spike up 3.25% for GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, we did it again on AMD, man. I mean, AMD was also another one of our long-term plays. You can see right here in on this break, and it just continues to rip to the upside. We'll post this up on Twitter as well. Look at 95 breaking now, Neil. This is $1.40 in the money now. Wow, AMD, just keep on going, man. I can't keep saying I tell people this, because if you join us at 8:30, you already know this. When they had that deal, you guys told me about it in the chat. You were like, look at AMD, look at AMD. So I give a big thank you to everybody in the chat as we hammer that one and we bang out more winners. What a big day this has been already. Man, we are going off here. This has been just a fantastic run as AMD just keeps on going to the high side here, guys.
And keeps on going to the high side. I see the NOAOV still in the long position there, Sean. I'm obviously you miss a breakout. Once it halts to the upside, I'm not chasing one of these parabolic movers. And I did this little graphic for you guys because that's what it looks like, Rob. That is a parabolic move. I had to explain the difference between linear and whatever. I'm not even going to get into it. But once we get a reopen on this name, I'm looking for it to hold one of these halt levels, at least a little bit lower. I'll jump into a quick short as long as I have the locates. We got this name a little bit late, so I haven't confirmed whether or not I can go short on this for free.
Okay, yeah, just get that going. I mean, I don't know where we'll get out of this AMD. I mean, we're basically out. We have 20% left. I don't want to say basically. We could have taken it out at the high there, but these are all-time highs, like Brendan mentioned. So there isn't really too much to look at. I feel bad if I get it out at 94.25, just because that seems like a low price, but watch out for the NASDAQ. So I'm actually going to hold this last 25% until the spot where 20% until the spot that we got in at. So let's watch for that. The only other position, you guys can see the damage that we've done on the bottom end. It's been a monster day. XPeng, look at that out there on XPeng. So shorts. Out down there, 46.05. You guys saw me go crazy when that came in. So again, like that's just been a fantastic trade, and we'll just look to keep making some money on these plays, guys. XPeng, what a great trade that was. I should actually tweet that out. That is what a great bottom. That was 46, guys.
Brent, what's up, bud?
Zoom, guys, one from the list, watch list this morning. Zoom trying to go positive here for Zoom. We were down significantly at 396, retook 400 and didn't look back. So a nice look for Zoom so far.
Got back into some shares. Obviously, we had the trade off of the open in BlackBerry. I've started back into a second look on this trade. 8 even is still where the stop is going to be for me. I think it even breaks out through there. If it rolls over off of 8 without breaking it, I'll take some more shares. But otherwise, we're looking for the bullish end of this trade on BlackBerry. The short was okay, but that's a hard turn right at 8:30. Another bounce when it tried to retest the low. So it might be that we're trying to go back to the upside on BlackBerry. I got to be glued to this NAOV, guys. Did get the locate, so I can short this name in the event that it opens up in about 5 minutes or so, but it's got to either open lower or immediately get below this 220 level, test it and fail. If that doesn't happen, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole against this trend.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to alter my XPEV ideas here. We'll see, though. There is a downside spot here if we can get to it of 40. What is this? 47, actually. Just a 47 break. We'll look to get into that one. We're still waiting on NanoX to open up, and there goes. I'm glad we didn't get out of our AMD as we're busting out once again today's high. What we haven't checked out was NEO yet, and I apologize if you did, Neil. I don't think I've heard it yet.
No.
Wow. Yeah, a big move back to the upside here. Something to look at. Okay, that Nano is out and back upside, so we'll take some out at 22 there. What a great out that was. We'll hold the rest. Now we'll just let it go. I'm really happy to get some out on that halt. Normally when I'm in halts, it goes the other way. So that was a good one. Looks like it's going to halt again, guys. A lot of downside pressure. This might be a good idea just to get out of this one. NAOV right now, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing it. Yeah, and there it goes.
I just tried and it halted.
I just tried to short it, and unfortunately, I should have had level 2 up so you could see it, but piled up that offer. It couldn't bust past that 215 price, and I did try to grab a short before it halted. It looks like the reversal is on in that name. Watch out for BlackBerry. The short was good initially, but we're going to lose on the rest of it if this 8 goes, guys. 8 even was the price we talked about in the pre-market. I am not adding more shares into this short unless we fail and roll over. It's touched it once, but there hasn't been much of a turn just yet. It feels like BlackBerry is going to try to grind itself back to the upside. I'll get to IBIO as well. That one seems like it's going to be pretty calm. Fuel Cell not giving me the break. I wanted to short this one on a pop. Fuel Cell can't go up. Might have to. I don't want to chase it too far, but might have to get at least a little bit more aggressive if I want to be short FCell.
Brandon, what's up, bud?
Just checking on Lightspeed here. A little Canadian content, guys. Up significantly for Lightspeed here in Toronto. I'm going to double check on an acquisition announcement from Lightspeed. BlackBerry as well, if you missed it yesterday. AWS, they're teaming up with Amazon Web Services on some vehicle work, some software for them, guys.
All right. Yeah, XPeng going off now. Okay, so Nano did halt. We already talked about that. XPeng going off to the upside right now. What a great out that was. We keep talking about it. I don't, trying to find another spot to short here. Maybe the short is done. Like they got blown out at the bottom there. Now we're going to wait to see what happens. 49, I guess, here were some dropping off spots. So I'm going to go short now on XPeng and use 49 as my out. Maybe a little bit higher than that, 49 and a quarter or so, guys.
And it tried to roll over BlackBerry. It has not yet, but I did add, like I said, I was going to add to the position if it turned around. You got this dip down into like 783, so I did take a few more shares. I actually ended up with taking less than I liked, just given how strong it looks. I'm still going to reverse at 8 even. That is still part of the plan. I wanted to get into NAOV. I will try to do so when that one reopens. There's a few names that we have not talked about yet. Apologies if we didn't. I don't know, Sean, maybe you did mention Zoom. But bounces back above 400. I said I didn't want to miss out on the off chance that 400 would hold, and that's exactly what happened. Breaks through 400, gives you a pullback right into 400, and now bouncing into that 10 to 20 range. So I don't have a pie in my face, but we can do this. Bam, bam, bam. That's horrible. I had one look on Zoom. I really was hoping this would happen. It did. I did miss the trade. We're now up towards that 420. Wish we had the graphic for that, but we don't. So if we do get into this 410-20 range and hold it long enough, there's the BlackBerry reversal. I'll go long there. If we hold it long enough, I would look for potential resistance to that 20 mark to maybe short it. But the look was 400 holding and then running right into this target range here, guys. Zoom, not much of a bounce back, but if you're scalping, that's a good trade.
Yeah, and look at this, guys. We just talked about going short on XPeng, and we did that at 48.77, and we covered at 48.15. We had a keystroke error there. Took some shares. We're about to get out of them. Watch out for 49 to break, but we already took out half there for a decent win on XPeng, guys. AMD coming back to life a little bit. We're going to get out at 95 if it gives us that opportunity. One more time, Brendan.
The market tried to bounce there, guys, but right back down to session lows as we speak. In fact, new session lows. Some of these cruise lines were a part of that move back to the upside. You can see initial weakness here on CCL, raced all the way back to 20, but it's kind of struggling here at 20 now for CCL.
I shouldn't say not struggling, because down 18% is certainly going to count as that. But Workhorse pressing towards this pre-market top of 2065. Like I said, still down 19%, but it is trying to break and then fill this little gap here. We talked about the short interest. Mark Roberts is a fantastic guest. A feeling this could be oversold, and there was maybe some downside before you had a longer-term bottom pick. But as a day trader, I can look for this break at 2065 and then look to be involved. If we can fill in any part of that gap, it looks like a fantastic opportunity. I want to get NAOV when it opens up, and that's less than a minute. So I got to get my order ready for Workhorse and then attention to NAOV, which I think is opening up rather shortly.
Yeah, looks like it is. So we're back into right now XPeng. We just took some more shares right there at 48.80. So our average price, it looks like 48.42, but that's because we did make a keystroke there and tried to get out of it. So, but now it's coming back to the downside. So a nice little short here on XPeng, XPEV, just reloaded. These are really the two shorts that we're doing, defending this 49 level. So our out's going to be 49.25 there on a break. So we're watching out for that one as this goes straight back into the money. AMD, we're trying to get out right now. Our average our price is going to be at 81 for a big win on AMD here. If we can get that, that's $1.20 still going for us. So that's going to be good. And there's NAOV, man. We are already in that name, but we're going to give the last little bit down here to where, 150 or so. But who knows about this? This is going crazy here. 50 million shares today on NAOV.
Yeah, I just missed, it was liquidity, I swear there was, right down here at like 98.99. I just ended up chasing to 92 short. So I'm telling you, there was a shot to get this one. I wanted it short off the open as long as it opened lower than that 215. Got it here. It looks like it might be halting another time. So there's a halt. It's at 187. I'd like to obviously be in the have a better price and be in the money 10 cents. It's a 5 cents in the money. If it continues down, obviously you look at that initial breakout price as a first target. Brendan, what's up, bud?
One that had earnings, guys. We didn't mention it. Wasn't terribly active in the pre-market, but Box reported down 7.5%. Just popped up on a screener there. $17 coming into play here. It needs to hold, or this thing could be in trouble. This is a big level on the daily chart for Box, guys.
I was trying to look at CCL here, and shout out to Daryl if you're around. I meant to take 1950, but that XPeng and everything and Palantir hits right off the open. That was a great trade. I just want to know if anybody had that 1950 short. That was great. And then now we'll look now, and I can't find anything on CCL that I really like now. This was kind of a mess here. I mean, it was great to go short, but we did have a little bit of some consolidation, basically right where we are right now on some bottom. So this is like 2025, 2024 here on CCL. So I'm wondering right now, sometimes I don't understand this stock because, you know, the market's getting pumped again here today, and this name just wants to keep going up. I do understand why. We know why, because a lot of people rotating out of NASDAQ and into some of these plays because it's all that COVID, right? I mean, the more they think they sell NASDAQ, they go into some of these names. And I just don't know. We talked to Mark about Disney earlier. Maybe I have to look at that, but I don't really have too many levels here on CCL. I mean, we could go short using 40 as our out. I'm thinking that might be a decent play right here. So let's do a little more work, but that's a good trade. And then, by the way, guys, we're out of AMD. What a banger this was. We gave this to you. Any deal from now on that I see has the word Amazon in it, I mean, you just got to go long at some point. Pick your poisons, pick your spots. We waited for this one. We could have got hammered if we took it early, but we were pretty patient. Waited till about 9:33 before taking this one high side and just wrecking that stock, man.
Yeah, and that's absolute wreckage. I love the trade. Look, it's not just an idea. You got to be able to put the trade on. The execution is going to be key there. That's what I love about that, Sean. Zoom is coming all the way back. It never got to 420, so you can forget about that, but it is coming down into VWAP here, 405 even. Now, if there's going to be a bounce off VWAP, I don't mind picking this one up in front of that 400 level. So I'm going to take one quick shot at Zoom here. I still think if it makes another test of the high, we could break that and get to that 420. First things first, it really does have to give me a price a little bit tighter to that 420 mark. Now, keep in mind, I am short in NAOV is halted, so I have to watch for that one to reopen. Because it halted in the money, I'm not necessarily going to get out of it right away. I think maybe there is some downside. But if it opens higher, you're very likely to see me punch out of it instantaneously and not want to hold as the momentum is against me in that name. But once it halts and comes down, I usually like it for short, at least for the next little bit here. And this is really early for that reverse.
That's pretty hilarious because I was talking about Zoom and how it was overdone, and I got credit there on the chat for the talk, and I didn't even trade that. So good luck for looking at that one, and we'll have a closer look, obviously, on Zoom as Neil's brought over a couple levels. I like this play on Salesforce, 220. If we get back up there, it's trying to build a base right here. 216, it's dropped down there a couple times. You know, again, a 217 break isn't horrible to go short. And we talked about why. I mean, the acquirer, they're diluting basically their own shares by offering offering them a percentage of shares plus cash. So that does dilute, and you're going to see down 10% here, about to go SSR. But I like a 220 break, so we'll wait on that one. Is Nano halted again? Yes, it is. It's halted, so I'm waiting for that one to reopen up. AMD, we've crushed that, and Work is starting to head downside, obviously. Work is another play, Neil. As you know, it will follow CRM now because it's attached at the hip. We already know there's a cash aspect to this deal, and then there's the shares. So as CRM falls, so will Work. So I hope you guys understand that and are able to take advantage of some of those plays as well.
Yeah, it's a healthy cash portion, but still, I mean, the deal it's 27 billion, so it's so large that you have to consider the movement in CRM if you're going to be trading that name. Fuel Cell, I can go ahead and cancel this offer. We never really got the pop we're looking for at 9:30. Maybe got halfway and rolled over at 7. 650 is the new break. If it breaks through that price, I will enter into the short. And any second now, I do expect NAOV to open back up, guys. So I do have to be hands-on for this one. Any second now, I think we do open. Still in short. Brennan, what's up?
Just checking on this one, in mode, INMD, big flush there on volume as well, 9% to the downside. Don't see anything on first glance, but INMD, a little thinly traded, but worth a look, guys.
All right, I'm still waiting for that Nano as well, and then there's Work, XPEV, Palantir right now. Big trade on Palantir. My largest of the day profit-wise was this, and that was just a great break. Took multiple pennies off that, and then when we lost on our last 10%, we literally lost 20 cents, but we took almost I mean, that's a short at 90, and some of our outs, the same percentage outs down here, 26s, 30s, 22s, and whatnot. But now Palantir's looking juicy once again, guys. 23.25 here on a break. Looks pretty good to me. There's some decent size there at 23, but why can't we retest this? I think we probably could. What if we look at a 3-minute chart and see what happened yesterday? Wasn't this low yesterday. So 23.25. I'm going to go long on Palantir. Yeah, we only dropped down to 24.
You know what I just thought of, Sean? I can bang the table, so I'll give 2. That one's for AMD. Sean can't bang his table because there's this weird thing that's going on with his screens. His screens, I don't know what it is. I think a cable loose. The screens go off when he bangs his table, so it's a bad idea. I'll give another bang for NAOV. We talked about this retracement. Yes, I should have had 2 even. There's no question about that. Only got 192s, but the original breakout price. Now, Sean got long on a break of what? 171. Where is my last out here? 173. That's where I'm going to get out every single time. Everyone's looking at the same charts, guys. This is why you try to pick some of those levels. Maybe it goes down further. I don't need to bet that it does. Get in and out very quickly. It's still in that phase where it might halt every couple of minutes, and that means I want to just be active in and out of that trade. Brennan, what's up?
Moderna, guys, are a name we've talked about over the past couple of days. Big high flyer on vaccine news to the upside. Lower initially this morning. Merck announced they were selling their equity stake in Moderna. But look at this, right back to positive, or just about to go positive anyways, for mRNA, back above 140.
Did you say 130?
Palantir's getting close right now, guys, to hitting these levels of 23, 25 there that I like. So we'll wait on that one. Also, there goes NAOV back to the upside, so we still have that one. I think Neil is out. What was this, Neil? Oh, yeah, 43. Wow. A big move for Neil. What I want to talk about was this 41.50 level. I like this for a short if we do get back there, but congratulations to anybody long Neil right now, as you got paid off, man. Anything long in the EV space off the open worked. The Chinese ones anyways. We do have to go back to Workhorse and have a look there, but 39 and change. I'm going to put an order to go short 41.50. I don't know if that's going to happen. It probably doesn't come back there, but that's going to be the play on NEO. I don't want to short it upside because I do believe in this stock, and I think it's a great long-term play. So I just think that for today, we could get some energy out of NEO if we do break back down below 41.50 here, guys. So yeah, let's wait on that. As there goes Palantir, it actually almost goes right to our spot and then turns. So we had a good spot there. We just didn't go short. I was thinking about a breakout. If you did want to go short, Palantir, congratulations. You should have took it a little bit ahead of some of those levels. So you're in the money now, but watch out, man. This thing's whipping around.
Yeah, and speaking of whipping around, I mean, I missed once. I can cancel this bid on Zoom. It tried to bounce off VWAP. I tried to grab 406 when it made that initial bounce. I always want to see it bounce first. So it bounced off 405.50 and then tried to make another move back down and retest. That's where I threw the bid, just trying to get picked up. No chance. Didn't even get it. 50-cent spread at times on this name. It's a $400 stock. If it takes out the top, watch for that 420 level, which we like to talk about. NAOV, Sean, I'm assuming. I have to look here just to make sure that you still got on in that one. Got out in the nick of time. I would anticipate there's a good shot we could halt again to the upside on this stock, so I would watch out. I put the same play on. If it does another halt, whether it's up or down, it looks like it might be gearing up for a halt here. If it does another halt up or down, I want to get involved if it holds this price. So 2 even, if we get a halt, we just did. I'm going to look to see if on reopen, if it opens and fails at 210, 211 up here, or simply opens lower and initially cannot break this 2 even, I will jump into another short trade. This one, I would anticipate being able to get a better out than that 170 breakout price, maybe down around the 150, but NAOV still in play. 63 million shares in volume. When it's that liquid, do you really need to halt every few minutes?
Probably not, to be honest with you. You should not be halting that often. But okay, here we go, guys. We're going to watch XPEV as it's looking to break right now $50 here. So there's a $50 spot. I think it's worth a long. I may go short into it. Let's just wait to see what it does here. There it is. So we just took a long there on XPeng. Let's see what happens now to the upside on XPEV. We took that. We're long at 12 here, guys. But what a nice little move to the upside. Takes them off at 33 if we can get it. We just did. Nice little win there. Good win on XPeng as it's making moves back to the upside here as we got 50 longs, guys. Good trade. Thank you, Valeria, for the refill on the coffee as I see you from the corner of my eye. Let's go, XPeng.
Xpeng's making a monster moves here.
Boom!
Brendan just brought Moderna to my attention here, and I said 130. I'm like, what, is it at 130? No, it bounced off 130 and got up to 145. 150 was a level I did not think would be making any kind of a test of, but I'm going to be all over it. I know we played around with 150 and missed the short the first time. I don't think it's going to happen the second time, guys. It's still in a bit of an upward trend, but I'll take my shot. Obviously, it's been a volatile name. It is worth trading. Grain of salt. Keep in mind, like, $1 doesn't mean right or wrong in Moderna today. It's already made a $17 range. If you just count from open to now, it's even bigger than that if you consider some of the pre-market action. So you got to give it some space and size accordingly because of it. But 150, I'll take my shot in front of that even level, psychological, and that's where our top is in the pre-market as well, guys.
Okay, Palantir, we tried it. We got a little bit out there on the high side, but we did try Palantir there breaking up through 23.22. Doesn't look like it wants to go. We got out of a little bit there. Now we got to look for some downside on Palantir, maybe 22.60. But yeah, there it goes. Fail, big time fail at the top there of PLTR. XPEV coming back down now as well. So let's watch out. Palantir is getting right near that 22.50 level that we're scared of right now. So we'll have to drop that if it does get to that spot. But not a great trade here for PLTR on that break. We thought that it was going to get some juice into it, but it looks like it rejected that break once again, guys. So Palantir, yeah, to the downside. It's a pretty ugly stock, especially on some of those downgrades.
Yeah, an ugly stock. I'm going to go back to that. I talked about this one, Next ID, a little bit. I did have a short position on. I talked about tighter stops on these plays. I was able to get some out at that 57 double bottom. Both times it was down here. It came back up. I re-entered the trade. It worked in the money for me. Then we go out and take a 1 cent hit, and this is why I got away from it. Started to go parabolic to 70, turn right back around. Now it's below this 57, and this was the resistance. I couldn't get the short to break through there. Now that it has, I'm jumping back into the short on Next ID with that 57 area as my stop. And with Brendan at the big screen, it is time for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll talk North American markets, see how things are shaping up so far. It's been an interesting morning for us, bear with us. Some negativity so far right across the board. 0.16% for the S&P, the Dow here about 0.25%. The NASDAQ 0.6%. So it is the tech group, as we were saying in the pre-market, leading the way to the downside. You can see the Russell small caps about 0.74%. Here in Toronto, dead flat for the TSX, slightly lower. The BOVESPA down in Brazil, if you're joining us in Brazil, 0.5% in negative territory. A few things from the watch list to keep in mind so far today. We had a nice bounce for Palantir off 21. We're back to 23 already, still down, yeah, more than 10% for Palantir. Nikola also with a nice bounce today, 17, or 17.20, I should say, ended up being support. We're all the way up to 19, pulling back off of 19 after that big move down yesterday. JetBlue as well. I wanted to mention this one. Big offering announced. We talked about it in the pre-market there, aftermarket yesterday, but climbing its way. It's just grinding. This is a very slow mover, but grinding its way back towards 15, which if you go to the daily time frame, decent level for JetBlue. Guys, back over to you.
I saw a suggestion that I love, and I feel like it should almost happen. I didn't see it in the chat myself, but man, should we not look at getting an actual pot and pan so when the next banger comes in, we just do one of these? Well, Valeria will do it so it's not like right in my microphone, which would be way too much for you guys. I did get into Next ID here. And should be opening up on NAOV any second now, guys. But I talked about this one off of that 57 area when it finally broke. And I got the short starting it at 55. I'd like to be able to add to this position. And I just missed shorting $2 again on NAOV. Man, how many times am I going to miss the exact same price? Looks like it's going to halt one more time. At some point, you know what? I said I would stop doing these rants, but when it's a $2 stock or it's a penny stock, and you're getting halts off of like 15, 20 cent moves, gross-wise, and the volume is at 65 million, it's a little bit crazy that we're getting all of these halts here because liquidity is not that bad. This is not a terrible amount of a move. I get it, it's 25, 30%, but this is a little bit ridiculous. It's making it difficult to trade what is obviously an active name here on NAOV. It's still holding above that 171 breakout. I think that's going to be a very, very key price. Once it breaks that, and of course now it's eventually going to be VWAP. It's very close. I think it's going to be a short there as well, but it's getting a little pain in the you-know-what-ish that we have to suffer through like so many halts when it's not gigantic moves that it's actually making on each of these.
Yeah, no, I feel the pain on that. I hate when we get halted and it doesn't seem like it makes too much sense. Okay, XPeng, we're out of that one. A nice little win. Oh, there you go. I hit the explosion again. Nice little win there on XPEV, up and out. And now we just got out when it crossed through 50 again. But a good little win there. What's up, B?
One moving so far this morning, guys. Lyft. Didn't talk about this one in the pre-market, but they updated both their November demand numbers and also their Q4 forecast to the upside. So we were lower down here. Tested 38.20, 38 twice, but right back to 40 now for Lyft.
All right. I should do like the... It's going to happen, and it has happened. There it is. 4, 2, 0, 420. I would do something. Look, I would draw something for you, like the leaf, but I can't draw. My brother got all of that talent. Sean knows all about that. You got to stay in your lane. That's important. 420 on Zoom. Here we are. I missed one long. I missed the second long. I will take a shot in front of 420, shorting it. Obviously, I liked the long off that hold. That is come and gone, and I can't marry myself to that notion. If 420 holds, fantastic. I think I can get some out down around this like 413, 414. Just remember how far this has come, guys, back down. So it's a very, very tight stop. I'm only risking a couple of dollars on a $400 stock, and it's one of these things. And we had an experienced trader who I was talking about with this type of play. You got to be willing to miss your entry price to get the right risk to reward. And if you're shorting off a level like this, so against the grain in terms of the move, you'd better have it as tight as possible. And I'd rather I'd rather miss out on a short, have it turn around at 417, 416, go $10 down. I can live with that. If I get the price I like, it's a little bit easier to manage here. So 418 so 417.85, risking about a couple dollars plus slippage. If it first out, 413 to 415, somewhere in this range, and hopefully down towards VWAP, but very, very tight stop on this Zoom trade. 420, I didn't make it up, guys. It did stick out. That's why we went over this one when we did the watch list, guys.
Yeah, we went into long CRM there, and it does go into the money for us, about 70 cents, but we didn't take that. So we are long CRM 220, the level that we did give you, but it is falling back down. 218 is now going to be the out on this one here. It's not a huge position because of how volatile it is and everything around it, but we are long this name. So 218 is going to be the dropping off spot here for our friend Salesforce. We do have some upside targets as well. Like I said, basically where we stopped here, we'll take some out at 219.50 if we're lucky enough to get that. So that's going against us right now, as is our Palantir, which we're going to use 22.50 as our out. We were able to absorb a little bit of this. We're still positive on the stock, but yeah, this was a bigger trade that we thought was going to work for us, but it really hasn't. And it's funny because we talked about wanting to go short Palantir all day, and that's what we did. Short here, cleaned that up, and then our long was a bit of a mess. So a mess in aisle 5 here with Palantir, but I still think that we have some upside to go. And looking, honestly, guys, looking up here, man, 23.60, 23.70. I don't even mind going long on that break again. I do believe in it, but we have to use 22.50 as our out just because all the negativity around this name. Brendan.
We were talking about cannabis, guys. Cannabis in play today. A little headline here on ACB. Aurora Cannabis pausing operations at their Medicine Hat, Alberta facility indefinitely. So 30 employees getting laid off there. So some cost cutting for the company. No real significant response as far as the stock is concerned. We're still up on the positive news for the group today, but ACB trying to hold this 10 area, guys.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen to you from time to time. 420 did not break. I won't throw it up for you guys again, but there was I think it might have been like a dark pool or some kind of print above it. So because I didn't see a definitive break, I'm just going to quickly jump back into position and then throw the stop in just a tiny bit higher. It'll cost me some spread, obviously, but I've told time and time again, if you don't mean to get out of a trade or you don't mean to get into a trade, just obviously just do the reverse, right? So I just get back into it because I didn't intend to get out on that wick. I do pay the spread a little bit there. But if I didn't mean to get in, certainly cover that one. We just got another open here on NAOV. I'm still going to try to be active in this, as frustrating as has been. It does look like it's still heading southbound. I want to use this 190 area as a bit of an out, but 170 is that key. And hopefully, if 170 breaks, I can actually get this execution. I'm not sure that's actually going to be the case. We'll see. It probably halts before I can.
I was going to look at this as and just say, you know what, guys, let's just get out of this near $2. So our NAOV, a good trade here for sure. I mean, we've crushed it. You can see that at the bottom. I mean, this was our long 172. So this is 10 cents. That's 15 cents. That's 25 cents. And then obviously at the top there is 60, 70 out, 22s. So 52, 53, 54 cents or so on that one. So we'll take out the last little bit here, around $2. It's come up a couple times for us and then dropped off. So, you know, obviously the spot we're in, it looks good. But yeah, we will get out if it does come back in and crack through VWAP. We'll give it a little bit more room. How about 160 or so on the break back down? There goes Palantir. I'll flush ourselves down the toilet as that trade finally comes to a close there, breaking through 22.50. Don't tell me that was the bottom. What's up, Beep?
Another one from the earnings list today, guys. NetApp, NTAP up big time here. This doesn't look like much, but the bottom end here is 57.75. The top end 59.75. So it's kind of chopping around in the $2 range. Decent volume. So positive earnings for NetApp, guys.
And there goes, sorry, just to say again, because I'm in this trade here, there goes Salesforce. I'm still on a 3-minute chart, but what a great trade this is. Now $1 in the money. Bang. For that one, as Salesforce now still going up. We're long 22. We didn't have to hold this one against us that much, like 40 cents, 70 cents maybe, to take back-to-back dollar wins right there on Salesforce. So that's making back that Palantir money. So we'll wait to see if that can go higher and higher right now. As Salesforce, we called that 220. I did like that level, but watch out. VWAP's all the way back now to 219.65. So there might be something there. We're out of 40% right now of CRM, and it's still ripping. So I like E.
I will eventually kick myself for missing CRM. 420 broke on Zoom, reversed into a long. I did scalp $1 off here. Accidentally had 2 stops, so I got double the long position at one point. I'm going to hang on to the rest of this trade. Obviously, the jailbreak is on, and we did talk about just how far this has come. I'm going to switch back to the 15 just so you can see a better perspective at this 420 break. Now, there is a 425, which I think is going to offer some resistance. If it gets through there, maybe there's a bigger gap fill in store. So 400 is held. Now we're into the breakout stage. NAOV is back open, so I should track back over to this name as well. Like I said, I did try it at that 2 even, and if I get a shot at $2 again, I'd probably take it short. For now, I'm just looking to pick some up off of this 190 current top in NAOV, and I also want to get short if it breaks 170. So 2 places I'm trying to get into this party. Maybe now it'll start to calm down a little bit, and we can get some proper price discovery, I suppose, is the term that I'll go with today. Not halting every few seconds would be nice.
22.88. Okay, CRM, guys, we took out another spot there. It looked like 50 was resisting, so we did take them out right at 48. So now we have 40%. So I'm much more happy with this. We cannot turn this into a loser. Now 219.30 or so is going to be our out. Let's let CRM continue to run to the high side there. Palantir bad out at 50, but I didn't want to hold it. I thought we could retest VWAP there. So this is the mess. So this is a good trade on Palantir. This is the best trade, and then this is the mess that I said clean up on aisle 5. We'll see about a 23 break now. I do like a 22.90 maybe, get a little more aggressive, but let's try it one more time on a 23 break, and then just use the same kind of thing as an out back down here to 22. Maybe we'll extend it a little bit this time to 22.36. So a little less shares this time, but we're going to try to go long. 22.30, but Palantir is just so beat up, man. Maybe we should switch to the short. I'm going to do some more work. I'm not going to take that long, but I am happy with this long on CRM, as right now it goes into the money, $1 for us. Brendan at the big board, upgrades and downgrades.
Hey guys, yeah, let's get you a few more symbols to have a look at so far today. Upgrades on this side, downgrades on that side. Just mentioned that one. Yeah, having a nice day. NetApp up 7% at the bottom here. We talked about Kohl's yesterday with that Sephora news, getting an upgrade today, up a full percent now. There's the big one, Palantir, and I guess number 2 on the big side today, Slack at the bottom there. But Palantir and Slack both getting price target decreases and downgrade if you're talking about, whoops, I went too far there. We'll back up one and show you Kohl's just going positive. Now 1.5%. I guess positive was down here, but we're back above 37 for Kohl's. So trying to get back to the upside where we were yesterday. We'll shift over to Slack. The news out aftermarket yesterday, CRM acquiring them. We're back to 43 here, but huge volume behind this work trade so far today. Guys, back to you.
If you heard me under the breath, or maybe not even under the breath, frustrated, that 170 broke on NAOV. I got into the short. actually had to pay down to like only 68. So it was a great entry point price-wise, and then it just instantly halted. I mean, it was clearly about to flush. I guess this is why they have halts, because maybe it was going to go reverse parabolic to the downside, and whatever. It'll open up in a few minutes, and I feel like the momentum was going to be in on that break, and we'll see what happens when it does open up. Zoom is still trying to hold the breakout. Of course, lost on the short trade, guys. When I got the accidental out, if I don't get back in, I might save myself 50 cents or so, but that's not the way to trade. I got out and I didn't intend to, so I just jumped right back in the trade. And yes, it ended up a loser. Reverse long, scalped a buck. I'm looking for 425 for the next out. Try and take $3-4 out of this trade. And then 425 is a big level. If that goes, 440 was the next one. It's a monster gap that Zoom has, and I think all of you guys that are watching knew about that. Moderna, on the other hand, we're looking at a 150 area to the top end, guys. It is stalling out at 145, so I'm staying away from this one, at least in the short term, until we make a stronger push up to the level that I actually like. I got caught doing the opposite of this the other day in Moderna, which is shorting in front of a level that I didn't like as much. And then, of course, that lost and then missed the big one. So it's going to be 150 for me. That's the only train I'll step in front of on mRNA. It is what it is. Sometimes you just have to stay a little bit more disciplined. To go back to Sundial, I might have mentioned this in the chat, but I just want you guys to know, I did take this initial break at 69 the first time, and then it was muted. I got half of a win. The rest of it, we took the hit when it goes to 71. It's now grinding back down towards that low. I will try it one more time. If we take it out, it's a little bit lower than that 69, like 68.5 or so. But that's splitting hairs. I'm still going to get into that short if it does break it. Maybe even consider adding to it if it takes out the opening range bottom on Sundial. Brendan, what's up?
I just want to mention this one. CLF having quite a nice day, just popping up on a volume scanner here as we broke through $12 even, which was that high from yesterday. So recent highs here for CLF. Goldman Sachs out after market yesterday with a positive note on this entire group. So nice look, bounced off 1150 at the bottom this morning. We're right back to $12 for CLF.
I want to give a shout out to the viewers there. I'm getting a lot of love on the chat here for AMD. You're welcome, guys. I mean, that to me was a great play, and obviously we dumped the last bit at 94.83. But our first long, guys, 93.70. So right now, 93.70. It's 96 right now. So $2.30 win there if you still have that. And again, if you see me get into some of these plays and you like them, you can also play with weekly options if your buying power or your account margin, whatever it happens to be, is not huge. You can play that with options because that would have given you a nice, beautiful win there. But I guess today with volatility being what it is, especially on a news like this with AMD, you probably would have paid up on that price. So because of the volatility due to options expiration. Okay, 96, yeah, I don't know. These are just all-time highs. This thing is just going here. I may leave AMD alone right now, but that's been a monster trade. CRM goes into the money again, $1.50, and we don't take it. But a big trade here on CRM, ramping up for me and getting right to the top of the board is this CRM trade. A couple nice outs there, all for that dollar and a change. Now we're going up for $1.50. Let's put an order around here, 221.40 or so, just to make sure we get some out, and then we'll hold our last 20% to see if we can moon this thing. What up, B?
One from a couple of days back, or I guess last week we were talking about it on this gap to the upside. Rensola, SOL, 15% downside here. They reported after market yesterday. Not good, but look at this move back to the upside. Tagged 5, we're all the way back to 680, basically where it started in the pre-market this morning. So trying to get not positive, but positive on the session for SOL, guys.
So NAOV has opened back up, which means it's probably going to halt in the next 2 or 3 seconds or so. I am short right now, starting to cover it towards that 150, as I should probably do a little bit more aggressively because, as you know, I'm probably only going to get to trade it for like a minute or two here. It is heading southbound, and if we break this 150 level, well, we're not going to because it's going to halt before that happens. But in the event that it halts and then opens lower than 150, I'll try to have half of it out and then look for the other half down to this 125 area. So it's the quarters gain here, short at 168. I've taken out that half that I have here in front of that 150. Now let's see if we continue to the south side. Zoom, I just put a trailing stop, put a stop in on Zoom on the second half of this position just below that 420 mark. I wanted to head up to 425, but I just realized that I hadn't actually covered myself to the downside. So thankfully I just did. And thankfully, NAOV is heading southbound. Let's see if we can't get past this 150 mark and then down to the 125. Let's do this. We'll bang for AMD. We'll bang for NAOV. We will bang for CRM as well, but I shouldn't bang too much.
$2 in the money.
I shouldn't bang too much because I might screw something up with the cameras, guys.
And guys, everyone, I saw people talking and said, did Sean just say 222 for CRM? It's at 222, so yes, I did. And there we go, we're long 220. This is just another $2 winner. We've given you Xpeng $4 or $5 win here, and then obviously we've missed this whole long on the way up. We were long here at 50, able to get out and make our money back off this short, but wow, we dropped that a little too early, I would say. So we're not going to do that again. And then, of course, I just looked at AMD, and I just put in the chat, AMD, CRM here, NAOV, all monster stocks. The only stock that we're red on today is now Palantir because, again, you know, we took this trade here, and then part of this little drop-off was a problem. But we'll get this back on Palantir. Look, it's bouncing off VWAP here a couple of times. I'm not in love with this stock today. It's just not, you know, trading in the same way that I thought it would have. FCell, big movers to the downside. I don't know. This is normally a name that, you know, Neil's in. I mean, I'm in all of these names as well.
I missed the bag on FCell. I feel like
I'm not doing anything.
Not drinking enough coffee. There was one short off the open and one short only, and I missed it. I'm going to take a sip here. I just got out of Zoom. I almost hit a button. I can't do that. So it just turned around at 424.55. 425 was going to be the area we tried to get out in front of. I just wanted to show you guys a 15-minute chart just so you can see that level from yesterday's fall. It tried to pull back into 425. Unfortunately, couldn't do so. Workhorse just broke up past that 2065, so I just got long that name. If we get a break of 25, I'll continue going long in Zoom. Obviously, we should have had a couple of other ones. Workhorse, at least for me, the first time today. Just looking for that top break, guys. This is a pre-market high. It's more of like, how big is the gap? It's a gigantic one on Workhorse. And our guest, Mark Roberts, did a fantastic job, by the way. It came through and talked about this name. I thought maybe we'd go a little further before it dipped, but it looks like we're trying to break through the high here. I don't think we fill the entire gap today, but if we get any good portion of it, should be a nice little trade here, guys.
Okay, yeah, and Neil, you didn't say parabolic. I mean, you had that there.
You know what the problem is? This paper is too thin.
I know.
So I can't, like, it's like once I write one thing, it's like it's getting a little much, and
I just wanted to bring up...
I'm not writing the word parabolic on the paper. That's too much.
No, that's fine. I mean, here we're going to drink anyways, and that's what I wanted to bring up to people's attentions. Neil just said there, got to drink some more coffee, got to drink some more water. I think that, if anything, if you're not learning about how to trade from us, I apologize because I think it's going pretty damn good. But definitely, guys, get into a routine and start drinking water with us as you can join Hydration. Oh, I don't have the thing. Hydration Nation. Normally, if you join us for the first time today, we normally have some pretty fun, funky graphics. Instead, we have pieces of paper today that are saying bang and whatnot. Neil has a couple cool ones as well, but thank you for joining us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We'll get this figured out later. And how cool were those robot voices earlier?
It's like we planned it.
Yeah. Well, that is the way. Over there with Brendan at the big screen.
Guys, let's go to small cap world. The guys were just talking about this, but yeah, this FCell getting very boring. 7 even here was kind of a level in the pre-market. We're just using that. Really not a huge move down to 640. We're coming back up to the 7 even, so if it fails, we'll get back in, add some more back to FCell. But again, really tight range on that after that offering was announced. Tried blank on that big flush at the open. Huge negativity on all of these right at the open, but nice reversal trade through 20. So trying the short in front of $20 even there. We're up to 21, trying to go back to where we were yesterday on blank. And yeah, NAOV getting very, very sleepy. Halt fest for this one. Wait for the breakdown under 2, rejected at 2 times there. So nice look. You can use 2 as a level now, I think, on NAOV. All kinds of volume on that one, guys.
We missed that CRM, and unfortunately, I've had enough of it. I could have held it, probably should have, but there's that $1.50. We take that out again, and now we're flat on CRM. I should have took that out at 22 there, 222.20 or so, where we saw a couple bouncing spots there. That should have been taken out. That one's, I mean, they're all on me. I take credit for winners and losers, but that one, this is a big win for me. Don't get me wrong, but we did get out there, and maybe we should have waited back for this 222 again, but I just didn't want this to retrace back to VWAP there. So a little bit of profit taking by me, and I have a feeling it's going to be a mistake. But we did it, and we'll put our name to that and stamp that one. So a nice little long 220 out here, around 221. Out again, same spot, 221.30. Double that up for a nice, decent win for sure. I still cannot believe XPeng and what's happened here. I got out of those puts, so thank God for that. But we are just motoring to the upside right now, 53.80 on.
You can do like a driving thing. We can do like a, I don't know.
Well, we have the unplug thing,
but we can't hit it, so it is what it is. But at least we can hit some of the trades for you guys. Hope you are enjoying the show. Anyways, guys, workhorse pressed towards 21 even here, and it's not like there was a gigantic amount of size, but it's an even dollar, so why not? Of course, going to take another quarter off of this one. In front of 21, it was at 65 break on workhorse. Maybe a little bit late to the party, but I don't mind. It's all good as long as you are well dressed, and in trading that means as long as you get the position and to get a winner, it doesn't really matter whether you're going to be a little bit late, which I most certainly was here on the workhorse retracement. Shout out to Mark Roberts, because I think we were all talking about this one, and he sort of came through. And the reason why we bring Mark on, guys, is he provides so much experience, all the years that he had in the NYC floor. He gives you that look of institutional buyers, and he knows what they're thinking and some of those levels. So it's not just us that you're listening to. We try to give you different perspectives, both for myself, Sean, Brendan. But when we can bring guests in that'll add to that, you better darn believe we're going to do it here, guys. Somehow, NEOV didn't even halt. But 150 didn't break either, so I got to move my stop here. This is coiling up, and if it can't break 150, I don't want it to break 160 upside here when I'm holding this 168 short, and then halt to the upside on me. So I am going to move my stop from about break even or 170 to that tighter one at 160. So it either flushes through 150 and goes crazy, or I have a very tight stop and it's going to be a winning trade no matter what, guys.
I'm debating doing something that I never thought I really would. What about NEO here? NIO, right now, I believe we should be shorting this one. 44.80 top. Let's go short right now on NEO, guys. What's up, Brendan?
A little bit of news on Zoom Info, not Zoom Communications, but the other one. Recent IPO from end of, or beginning of this year, I should say. ZI on the NASDAQ. Down on a share offering. They announced that in the pre-market. So a big move down here to 44, which is an interesting level. If you go to the daily time frame here, was resistance a number of times here for Zoom Info, that 44 on the daily time frame, guys.
All right, we're short now and loving life with this trade. I think this is going to be a good one, guys. Okay, it just went down to 29, so we're going to cancel, take some more short upside there. We were trying to bid some 29s. We were short 37. This is slippery. This is why I said not sure about this. NEO, when it gets excited, man, it can move. You guys know that. We'll put a bid at 29. Oop, upside down, bang. Okay, here we go to the downside. Bang! We're hit this again. Let's go, NEO. We just call that short. Let's see if we're going to be right now. Let's see if the haters are going to hate on this position. Let's keep going to the downside. 44 now coming through, guys. What a good trade here on NEO. Let's just see if this one wants to come in even more now. I don't know where to put some bids. We'll put some at 09. That's where we just stopped. Okay, we'll put some bids at 09. This is what I mean about how slippery this thing is. Like, goes down to 09, then right back up to 20. So much volume, 131 million shares. I still think we could take out this top. I'm going to use 45 as the top, but that's why we're trying to take profits as we see them come through here on NIO. I do think this could be the top, but who knows, man? We're going to wait on it. Let's take some more out in the teens.
Yeah, NEO breaking to the upside. Love it. Fuel cell. Look, I thought we'd be shorting this one today. I did miss that one off the open, of course. And look, if you miss a trade, you just got to jump in and see the next one. And that 7:30 break is the one that I took. There was immediate, like, sort of a scalp play because 35 had a seller. So, of course, I take some off in front of it. If it breaks 35, next legs will be out in front of 40, 45, 50. You know how the party goes. The party is back on in Sundial. It's, well, that kind of just means I'm short because I short it every single day. It broke that 69 one more time. I do have some orders in front of that low, the current low of day. If it breaks that, I want to have the bulk of the position on. But as with last time, it's going to be a relatively tight stop here. Don't want this to travel too far past that 70 area, maybe even 71 tops. NEOV, that 168, we had to take that off when it broke 160. So it's still going to be a winner, but 150 held rather nicely. If you're bullish on that stock, that's the only level I would consider for support on NEOV, 150 even.
Okay, yeah, we're doing the same kind of stuff here. Watching this as Neo now making moves to the downside. So really happy, obviously, with the way that's turning out. We takes him out now at 09 and at teens. Still making moves to the downside. Here goes Neo. Good trade here. I can't be any happier with the way this one's turning out. So big trade. We called that, and it's just now it's going. So hallelujah for this one. Neo to the downside. Big time trade right here for me, guys. Really happy with the way this turned out. We called that short in the teeth of the tiger. So let's see what happens right now. Going down to this level, 43.60. Let's go. It's a banger, man. This is a banger trade. I feel like ripping this thing up. What a great trade this was on Neo. Let's go.
I've got all the way away from BlackBerry, guys. I just noticed it 8 even. 8 even just came right back. I got whipped around at this level. It was a good short, a bad long, so 1 for 3. But that same price, VWAP, about to get taken out here on BlackBerry. I am going to look for a short one more time if it breaks VWAP, but one bounce off 8 even looks like it's going to come into play here. And I go very, very tight stop. It's like 802, 803. That's the only price you're going to be able to get, so risking a couple of cents. I won't reverse until about 95, however, to the short trade. Brendan, what's up?
Another one that was very active in the pre-market, moving around straight higher so far today on CATB, which is Cannabis Biopharma, little tiny biopharma stock. Yeah, 88% so far, straight higher. This is a daily chart. So I pulled up a daily chart here to show you, first off, the volume behind this move is impressive to $3. Next level up on this that I can see, oh God, I have to say this, 420 on CATB. The next kind of stop here, there's a little resistance, and then above that. So long way to go, possibly still for CATB, guys.
Oh,
why don't you want to say it? Stop. What's wrong with saying it?
Brendan likes saying it.
Embrace it, Brendan.
Embrace it, yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
I don't know. I guess you can
enjoy
yourself.
That's the Rick James. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what it is. Yeah, you can enjoy yourself with some 420. That's for sure. But we are going to wait to see on Neo. It's bouncing a little bit right now, so I think that there is some concern there. We're going to get some more out at 44 if we can. But I do like Neo. There it is. Nice little out there for that trade. So yeah, good trade here happening for us on NIO. Still watching those levels though. I'm still going to hold it till 45 break. We've already captured that profit. So watch out here as it comes back to the upside. Don't be too frugal with this name, guys. This could rip up to 45 in a heartbeat.
Frugal? That's the new one.
I don't even know if that makes any sense right now, but
you know what?
It's a long day, as you know, Neil.
I am actually not sure if that makes any sense, and maybe that is saying something.
More, I don't know either. More water.
But that CATB, I'm watching this roll over. It's if it can consolidate around this 3 even level, I would look to jump in. Fuel cell, we got some out on the top break, and then it came right back, so make 5, lose 10. That'll be a negative stock for me. I've not completely, but I have ignored NXTD, and I apologize for this. It's obviously been a lot of trades today, a few more than I had in yesterday's action. But this one, when it broke 57 and I got into more shares off 54, there was just, it hadn't spooked me. I hadn't had to adjust the stop. I just threw my bids out in front of 50 and got out. It just broke 50 even. So got to redirect that target. 41 cent close yesterday. I'll definitely take some off in front of 45 on the way down, and then 41 as well. We try to make sure that you guys know exactly what we have on and talk about our plan of action. And I apologize. I know I've been in this trade for a while and I actually didn't say anything. It's the 3rd time I've shorted it. Of course, we did have a basically flat trade, which thank goodness, because that was real, guys. Right before the open, this thing spiked all the way up and failed at the pre-market top. So thankfully, we had a tight stop. That's what I said I would do with these penny stocks, because it can go haywire when these levels break.
Okay, another thing I want to say thank you so much to a couple. Let's go, Neo, man. Yes, sir. Hammering that one. Brent, you're welcome for the SOL chart. And then somebody, there it is, Doug. Thank you for CRM. Okay, so Doug, love you and everything. I don't know who Doug is, but we love all of our viewers. Look at this, guys. CRM, you're thanking me for CRM, but I want to actually fall on my face once again, like all of these calls, man. AMD, monster call today. CRM, what else do we want here? A 220 break all the way to 224, guys, and we're out of it. So I have to regroup. We have to hold these shares a little bit longer. I'm not even sure why I got out. This was not even in danger right there. I just thought we could retrace back to VWAP there, but you're welcome, Brent or whoever, Doug that was. There it is, guys. But wow, what a great trade on CRM. Should have held that one. Pie and face. What's up, Valeria, I think? Brendan.
Positive news, guys, initially on the cannabis space that we were talking about seems to kind of be wearing off here. Tilray, the first one to kind of make session lows here, just popping up on a volume scanner through 830 TLRY. Still 2.3% to the upside, though. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe. About an hour left in the session over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are mixed following global markets. IWG trading in London down almost 7% after launching a £300 million convertible bond offering. Back to you.
Offerings every day. Doesn't matter the size. They always go down. That is the case. FCell, another example of that today, guys.
The name escapes me because the other day we were talking about something that did not go down. Brandon, that went up anyways, and eventually it was a good short. I stepped in front of the train and lost on Zoom, and it turned out the long was the better trade. But I said 150 on Moderna. 150 is here. It has bounced off it the first time. It has bounced again at 149.89. I just jumped into the position here. I paid a little bit, 148.87. I would maybe add one more time if it does bounce off again. This time I'll try not to get wicked out. I need to actually break above and hold a bid above 150 before covering this position. But Moderna at that top, and this is what I talked about. You know, sure, 145 gave you a $3 or $4 winner. And yes, normally that's a short that I probably would have had. But it's 150 that was the read. 150 was the price that I really wanted. So I stick around and wait for this turn, guys. That's what it's going to be all about here. You can't say to yourself, oh, man, that would have been a win. No, the question is it a trade that historically makes money for you? And that's the reason you put it on, not because you look back in hindsight and it would have given you a win.
Man, I just tweeted out that CRM, and I basically just said, like, it's great when we give the traders, our viewers, these calls, because, I mean, if anything, it just adds to legitimacy of what we're doing and these kind of plays. I feel horrible that I don't have this, because this would be an exponential win for me if I still had that, but right now not on board. But a great call, and thank you again, Doug, for the contribution there via Super Chat. Okay, this is a 1 minute chart here. Neo spanked that one to the short side, that's for sure. Took our money out. The only negative stock we have today, like we keep telling you, is PLTR. Like everything else is just win, win, win. AMD, no better of a trade today than AMD. I think that's a monster win right there. CRM, we just talked about it. I've been trading Bitcoin back and forth. I'm up single digits. It's not a big trade here on that one. NAOV, a big trade for me earlier. In here, out. We still hold that last 10%. Is doing nothing now, whatever. Not worried about that. NEO, you already know about that. We just talked about it. And then XPEV, guys, today. Nice shorts in the pre-market. If I can zoom back out on this one. A couple of shorts there, got blown out there. Took this out there. But look at this bottom, guys. 46 bottom on a 49.50 short. That's a $4 winner to go with your CRM $4 winner. We're back in the building, guys. Thank you so much. Jen Kyle here, it looks like, as a new member. Thank you so much. Members, guys, every other Monday, right after the show, we're going to do about in 45 minutes or an hour back and forth with you. If you are a member, pick our brains, guys. What up, Bren?
Those EV charts are pretty impressive, just straight higher on most of them so far. I want to mention this one, AYTU, little bioscience company, just popped up on this news. They signed a purchasing and distribution deal with a U.S.-based supplier of an antigen test for COVID-19. So this one, AYTU, just popping up on the radar here. You can see back above 90 cents for a little penny stock, guys.
AYTU, I actually remember that stock from back in the day. I did, like I said, just add a little bit to that Moderna. My price is about 149. It's a little bit shy of that, but that's the target price, was going to be 149 in front of a 150. And like I said, you try to get the price that you want, and even if it means you miss it, if I didn't get the second half of that trade, I don't mind. I wanted to make sure that you have the right risk to reward. Going to add that name to my quote board that Brendan just brought up to you guys. But I also got to go back to Sundial very, very quickly here for you guys, because it's going to be a tighter stop than normal on these trades, and Sundial just cannot seem to break down below that level. So I want to let you know I just got out of the trade right here when it broke 70. Yeah, it's only like a penny or so, but it is what it is. The way that I've seen this trade, usually able to take off the bigger wins, 5, 10, 15s, without compromising more than a penny or two. Now we're going to get the rollover start on Moderna here. I just wanted to quickly talk about that sundial because I didn't just get out of it. Going to try to take some off in front of this 147. There was a failure at this price, so first third off there, second third off in front of that 145, and then see how far this one goes. I'll probably throw a trailing stop at that time, guys. So first things first, we need to break down below this 147 even, catch just shy of $2 on mRNA. And again, look, it's the first time I tried this on the 150, I did miss the trade, unfortunately, but the setup was here, waited for it, allowed it to test one time, then caught it on the way down on the second test. So that's what I love to see. I waited for that setup. Now it can finally come in for me here. BlackBerry, which is the stock that I'm down on. How are you going to do that to me, BlackBerry? Because I'm one of the few people on the planet. Actually, you know what? Arun and I are the only two people on the planet that still have those phones. But this one rolled back below that 8 even, then VWAP, I did get in at 93s. It has really not done a heck of a lot. If it does break 780, I'll start taking profit off down towards this level at 770. And then from there, somehow managed to get bottom wick in the morning. I actually forgot that this even happened, but if I had the Street Fighter graphic, I'd probably hit it because that seems like a heck of a fluke. And sometimes you have a target in, it bounces off, it gives you the fill and then runs away. That's all luck. I just bid in front of 730 because 730 was a round number. Not lying to you guys.
Okay, when we're ready, we're going to throw to Valeria for this likes, if you want, Valeria. Okay, so hit the like button. Valeria's going to come and tell you to do exactly that. Okay, NEO right now, we're still short 44.36, but we have 10% of this position on. Oh, hold on a second. I got to push my chart over here. We're back to day's high. Just got to make sure I don't have any cancel buttons here. Okay, Valeria, take it away, Miss V.
Thank you, Sean. And hey, guys, we just hit 1,500 of likes. I would hit animation, but it doesn't work. So, guys, please support. You can find thumbs up right under this window. So hit it, and let's get 3,000 of likes today.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes. What is the? Is it the moonwalk at 15? I don't know. You could have moonwalked. I can't moonwalk, so I obviously can't do it there for you guys. Good look there, Roki One. I'm glad you're still making money on that BlackBerry trade. It'll have to flush from here for me to get mine back. Obviously, this is the third trade that I put on. Actually, technically, that's not true. Kind of the fourth trade because we did have this a couple of times right off that 765 level. Moderna is bouncing back upside. I have not moved my stop. Just as a bit of a reminder, if it takes out the second level, my second target here in front of this 145. If that gets taken out, then I will move my stop from 150. Until that happens, I'll go with that even number. That is going to be the key, so that's what we're going to stick with.
Larry, people loving the sign apparently. Good job on the sign. Very, very artistic. You may be in the wrong business. Okay, 45. Artistic. We'll see. 45. If you guys like those drawings, maybe we'll do one every day for you. That could be a kind of a fun segment. $45 here. We talked about that when it was down here. Remember, I said, this could go to 45 at any time. So we get out of our last 10% at 45. We can still hit the bangers because NEO was a big one for us. We reversed to the short, and that's why we scalped out of that one. And we're scalpers here on the show. Too much so that we scalped out of our CRM. But you want to hit a perfect, Neil. I think this one also here on XPeng. I mean, what's the low of the day? 46.01. This fill is 46, I think 03 or 05. Oh, that's right. It was 05. We did a live on the show. 46.05, but I wish that was a long, but it's not. We are flat.
I'm getting old, man, because I used to be able to see those triangles so well on my program monitor. I should just get a bigger one. Guys, get me a bigger program monitor so I can barely see the bottom of that, but it looked like bottom wick to me. So making the bottom or the top wick is like this thing for traders where it looks cute on the chart and it's awesome. We make fun of ourselves when we get out of a long at the bottom, but you got to celebrate when you do get the perfect exit or the perfect entry into a trade because ultimately that's what you live for as a trader. It's already 10:40. Wow. Okay, then we need to get over to Brendan at the big screen. Time for Sector Watch.
Hey guys, let's have a look at the S&P 500, see what is driving the ship so far today. We are lower, but trying. Only 0.1% to the downside now for the S&P 500. Negativity coming from the middle here, really. Consumer discretionary stocks and the industrials group. You can see number of the travel-related names in this group are higher, including CCL, MGM, LVS, RCL here as well. 1.1%. Hilton there also in positive territory. NCLH was negative, has since gone positive, now up 0.6%, so trying back to the upside. But on the retail side of things, that's where most of the weakness is coming from. GPC, AAP, and Orly, 2.5 to 4% in negative territory. WHR and Hasbro there, 3+% in the durable goods sector. Down here in the industrials group, just want to point out Boeing. Still holding on to a nice 2.3% gain. KSU there, 2.2% in the transportation sector in positive territory. Pretty much everything else, though, negative. So industrials, consumer discretionaries, negatives. There's a couple of positive ones over here in the real estate group as well to watch for. Information technology and energy stocks. Outside of CRM, TYL and this SNPS, pretty positive to break even. These are all basically break even or offsetting each other. So XNLX and AMD. XNLX in the semiconductor actually higher on the day than AMD, but AMD leading the group there, 2%. LRCX, NTAP here, mentioned that one on earnings. HFC, APA, and Oxy among the leaders in the energy group. Oil higher on the day as well. But a nice look overall. I mean, we're trying to get back to positive territory. If I keep talking for a few more seconds, maybe we will. Negative 0.09%. Guys, back to you.
Can you believe that? I mean, the market was pretty negative down here, and then a beautiful move back. I don't think anything's going to stop this market. That appears to be obvious, at least until, I mean, I don't know, like when Biden takes over, as long as the transition seems to be smooth, I think that's probably a lot of the rhetoric and what's happening right now with the market. I think it just continues to go up. I don't like the oil space. I like EV space, obviously. You guys know about that. Let's check back in on XPeng right here. I really think that these moves are way overdone today. That's why we tried to short NEO. So, I mean, we did not try, we did, and we crushed it. But what is this, 53.50? Let's go 53.50. Let's just try this right here, or 53.60. I'm going to try 53.50, and then just use this top, maybe give it about $1 worth of room here on XPEV. I believe in this, and I think it should be definitely shorted here, 53.50. I just don't know if this is going to continue. It may be a better short on NEO, but we'll wait to see. But 53.50, we're going to short that one, and then Palantir. I have some orders ready to go very, very soon on some of these breaks as well to the upside. So it might have made a base here. What a great little long this has been off of. Wow, like I'm missing these trades. This was a great long off of VWAP. Our NAOV finally going back upside right now. Nothing but winners on this stock today, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about NAOV, right? It's like long breakout work. We showed you a little bit of shorting around those halts, and then it bounced up about that 150, so you can make money in both directions. I don't know, CatB, I believe we talked about it. At least I'd like to think that we're talking about this potential rollover. I talked about 3 even. If it consolidates there and gives you a hard break, take the short. I somehow managed to miss this one. I'm not really sure why. Either way, it's a good one. I would have been out of most of it by now off VWAP, and then certainly the breakout price from the pre-market high is 240. I'd be all flat. It just touched off there. I don't know how I missed it. I thought I talked about it, didn't put the order in. I guess that's all on me. Brendan, what's up?
Volume, a bit of an issue here. It's dying off, but I want to mention space, still negative 3.8%. They were positive in the pre-market. We talked about it very, very briefly, but they have a new window for that final test flight that starts December 10th, they're talking about. So they're looking at anywhere after December 10th. If you remember going back a couple of weeks, we mentioned they had to shelve their last test flight because of COVID concerns and restrictions, but looks like after December 10th, they might be able to make that happen. So space, though, negative, trying to hold 27, guys.
There's just so many ridiculous deep prints. So we're long Palantir again, and we're kind of just rinsing and repeating. Like, we're long at 73. We took out 78s and 79s there and even 80s. But, I mean, look at all these deep prints. It's really depressing me. You can't even get filled here on the level. Like, look, nothing lit is coming off, yet there's tons of in-between prints here. If you notice on the time and sales, all of these oddball colors, like not oddball, it's only one, it's purple. I don't know, how can you see that? Okay, yeah, you can. Basically, greens are going to be anything off the ask, and reds are anything off the bid. But here we go. Now we're starting to go, okay, Palantir, I see you. Up to 80 right now, a good little trade. We're long 73 now on Palantir. Hopefully for the March back to 23, and we'll turn positive on this name here if we keep going up like this. Great trade here on Palantir, 22.70. We gave it to you, so happy for another win here. Nice little 20 cents here on Palantir.
It's a big bang today. Yeah, if you guys, for those, anybody that's joining in your regular show, maybe you watched it before, we don't have all of our graphics and the bells and whistles, so we can't do the animations for you. Sean can't bang his table. I can do it for him, so we'll do one for that there. Look, I just wanted to go back to Virgin Galactic just to show you a bit of perspective on this little pullback. They also got a NASA contract this week, so a bit of positive news there. It just pulled back below this breakup price, 27.60, but it's a nice clean trend since the end of last month, guys, or sorry, the beginning of this month, either way. And I feel like it's going to be an opportunity to buy a dip if it gets anywhere even close to like 25s. I'm not saying it will, but it might. I just saw an order step up in my favor on Moderna here at 148. This is brand new, just 17,000 share seller, and obviously that's a lot of liquidity. Is it real? I don't know. When it gets to that price, do they pull? Does it print? That's what matters. We shorted this one off of 150 today. I got the first target. I have not moved my stop until it breaks that 147. I'll try to get some out at in front of that 145 area. If it does that, I'll slide my stop probably to around the 148.50, 149 range. Got to play it by ear if this one continues down. It's going heck a counter trend here, obviously. $22 move bottom to top on mRNA, and that's not even as big as it did the other day.
Man, Palantir, guys, why Palantir? Why? What a trade, man. 22.70, like 34, like 70-cent winner, and I'm upset that we have this 70-cent winner for you. I've given you guys today a couple $4 or $5 wins, and then this one's monster on Palantir. But again, man, I only have that 10% left. Like, these are all basically 10% outs. Got to change up the strategy on this one, man. It didn't work here on the breakout, of course, but wow, does it work again right now? And we just hammered that to the upside. I saw you on there, Chas. You're welcome. I know you said thank you for the 10-cent win, but there it is. There's 70 cents for you guys on PLTR. Great trade. I think we could probably get out of a little bit here on this name, and Neo back and forth again. Look at Neo goes basically off there to 45.50. I'm honestly, like, I kind of want to smell out a short here at some point. 44.70 short. Neo, let's do this.
I just want to quickly go back over to some of the good calls, some of the best calls this morning were ones that were certainly missed. Palantir has not been. Zoom was. We did talk a little bit about that off of 400. The breakout stalled at 425. Now, that was the target, so the long did reverse and make that back, but it's trying to bounce now off of VWAP. Certainly, there was a secondary breakout at 413. We talked about this price area before. Almost to my second target on the mRNA when Moderna does break down any further, and I do get that fill. I'll update my stop on that one. But if Zoom can hold up, I think there could be a secondary push, maybe a bit later on in the session, a little closer to like lunchtime or in the afternoon. But it's got to hold this level, that 413 area. And 410 to 14 was a bit of a target range. So longing off of this price, you probably are not wrong till a 410 break. VWAP is a nice little guide for you there, but I don't like it for executions personally. That, of course, is just me. You guys can all use indicators however you want to there. I almost did it again. I just keep looking like I want to hit this board every single time here, and I just can't do it. But we just got out the next leg here on mRNA, just off that 146 break. So we'll take the $3 off of that second third. I am going to move my stop now. It's going to be a trail into this like 149 area, which is essentially where we are at. So it's like a break-even stop as opposed to allowing it to test 150. You know, my experience tells if it makes a bounce off of this, why give up the extra dollar? It's very likely to break 150, even if it's a failed break. And if it's a failed break, I want to jump back in. And I don't want it clouded by the fact that I just took a loss in what was a winning trade. I want a clear head when it approaches that 150. That means I want to be out in front of it.
Okay, yeah, clear head's always good. Okay, XPEV right now, we just took that short. So here we go, guys, 53.43 on XPEV. I don't know why my Neo didn't fill. Like, I thought we were going to go short. I'm having some problems there. Like, we should have gone short there. I called that Neo short at 44.70 right here, 44.80. That should have popped in instead. XPEV did. So we'll trade XPEV, but I like that Neo short better. Not even sure why that didn't fill up there, but we'll wait on that coming going through there, NEO. But right now, XPEV short 50s. Well, it's 43, but the same play. Let's wait to see what this does. Let's see if we get some out at 53 here to the downside, but it may retrace back up right now. There goes our NEO short. We just got that at 67 as I punched in. There it is, NEO short right here. Not going to give this one too much room. We're either going to be right or wrong, obviously. So 45 is going to be a good spot for me to get out of this one if we are indeed on the wrong side of NEO. I don't want to be short both these EV Chinese names here and be wrong on both.
Don't say we're going to be right or wrong when it's getting to like 11 o'clock. When the market slows down and you start getting those range-bound trades where stock just sits there around VWAP or does absolutely nothing, you could have just jinxed it. And like now all of a sudden the EV space will stop moving on us there. The bounce back up on Moderna, look, again with these levels, the reason I'm getting out right here in front of this, like, you know, in between 145.50 and 146 is simply this double top. I talked about 145 is why I didn't short it before, but that was certainly a level bearing a watch. And then you had a big breakout to 150 off that same level. So that 145.50, I'm going to get out in front of it. And again, it's not, when you're taking profits, there's no necessarily wrong way to do it when you're making money, but I like to anticipate bounces and then adjust as they come. So that's the reason why I picked out that price. I'm going to come back to another stock, which I guess isn't doing anything. And yeah, it's not doing anything. I'm sure just around VWAP here on BlackBerry, and it'll go up 5-10 cents. It'll go down 5-10 cents. It has to break out of this range for me to get out, either get out above 805 here or start taking profit below 780. That hasn't happened, so I'm just stuck in the middle with you, BlackBerry. Let's go to Brendan. Time for Money Talks.
Hey guys, yeah, let's go to currency land very quickly. We'll talk about some of the big movers so far today. I want to start with the British pound. There's some economic data that came out on the wrong side of things. They're also still talking about some Brexit concerns, trying to finalize some details on Brexit. So 133.3 down, more than 0.5% today. You can see we topped out 134.5 on the kind of higher time frame here. It's an hourly chart, but right back to the bottom end of this range. 133 was support the last time it was down here. For the British pound, Canadian dollar, 77.3. It's basically flat on the day. The euro slightly higher, 0.2% to the upside. These two kind of fighting each other over the past couple of days. We tend to see them kind of move one and the same, but Swiss franc lower today. Japanese yen is back in positive territory. Cryptos are quiet so far. Bitcoin, yeah, back below 19,000, 18,900, down 0.8%. Same story for Ethereum, down a full percent on the day. Guys, back over to you.
Okay, there goes NEO finally back into the money. So we're short. We're double short now on NEO and XPeng. I'm trying to sniff these shorts out. We took a little bit out there at 55 or whatever that was. So we'll wait to see here. We are short 67. I was scared a little bit there that we could break through 45, but again, there it is. Yes, let's go. Come on, NEO. Here we go, man. We are running this stock again to the short side. We sniffed it out. Now we'll wait to see if we're going to be right on this one. To the short side goes NEO. Bang! 30-cent win coming through right here. Sign is here. Get out of my face. Sign. 44.35 now, making moves to the downside. Let's just keep on going here with NEO. Scalp City is in the building with this stock. We'll go over to XPeng as well. 53.40 short. Let's put some bids at 53 even, guys.
And this is a kind of a perfect segue. The other day, and maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was a couple of days ago, I apologize. Memory gets foggy in your older age. But someone was asking about, do some of these stocks or algos move in concert? And I think, obviously those are two related names, NEO and XPEV, so you might see some relation there. But what I've noticed is if you get multiple high flyers or volatile names and making tops at the same time, I don't necessarily consider it a coincidence that you get a bit of a turnaround at the same time. Moderna made its turn here. It's one of the more volatile names on the day. All of these are heavily traded by day traders. All of these are heavily traded in the options world. So certainly I think that's why we see some of it. I mean, as you say that, Sean, here comes the rollover in Moderna. Why not? I guess no one cares about BlackBerry because I thought that was in play today. So why doesn't it roll over too? I have no clue. It's still trading in the middle of the range and doing absolutely nothing, guys. It is what it is. Every single one of these can't be absolutely crazy during at 11 o'clock. NAOV is also range bound, but this is different. I saw someone in the chat saying it could be coiling up for a big move up. There's a reason why I got out at 150 and then trailed my stop here at 160 to make sure we locked in the profit. When you start to make these bottoms here after successive halts, price discovery gets better. You get a tighter range throughout lunchtime. And if you don't break that level where consolidation happened, usually there is a second push. Volume would have to come into it. It's obviously died down a little bit. I can show you here if you don't have volume indicator. Put one up in your charts, please. If volume would probably need to start kicking back up. But if this thing breaks, maybe it's going to be this 180, maybe more likely this 190 area. You could get a second push. I've seen these things extend past the morning highs, even in the afternoon, especially when it's one of these parabolic movers. Now, there's no guarantee that it does, but if it holds 150 and then gives you a 190 break, it's probably worth it, even if it happens to be in the afternoon.
Yeah, great trade on Moderna. I hated that stock yesterday. The only negative stock I had yesterday, we went 8 for 9 in Moderna negative. Today we're going to go 1, 2. We're only negative today on PLTR, so that's going to be a good one. And yeah, we're feeling pretty good. And I see you there, Jarhead, and everybody else. Thank you so much for all of this, man. 30-cent win. Oh, there's Jarhead. Speaking of the devil, 30-cent winner on Neo over here. A couple more love, from you guys on Neo. So thank you so much for that one. And that's what that was. So Neo, a nice little trade to the bottom side there. We just took some more out. 30s there. So good little trade. That was a 30 trade. 36. Good look on that. I still think we break 43.80, so I'm going to try to hold on to these for a little bit longer. XPeng, we did take some out at 25. That's only a 20-cent winner, but we'll still take it. We're now bidding some more downside here at 43. And then, of course, my last trade on Palantir was just a banger for me as well, up to 23.20. So today, AMD, one of the best calls that we had going long early. I can review all the trades, but maybe we'll do that after. Let's go back over to B.
One that was on the watch list this morning, guys, just popping back up here. JetBlue just made a day high on a little volume spike there, so back on a screener, but 1480 seems to be a bit of a problem, so it needs to get above that, and then 15 up here where we were in the aftermarket yesterday. If you missed it, there was an offering on JetBlue, but it's been relatively strong compared to the rest of the group as well, guys.
Seriously, did NAOV just pop now? I thought maybe it was going to happen later. I was about to, and no word of a lie, Friendly Bear in the chat. I already had IBIO, and it was the next thing I was going to talk about because, like I said, tighter stops in some of these. I got my 163 out here at 165 for a 2-cent hit. I wanted it to retest this double top going into last night at 180, and this morning 179. Okay, 179. I round up to 180. I'll do it every single time. If it gets any higher, it even gives a rollover here. It's only 5 cents worth of risk. You gotta like a breakout off of that. It could not breach that 150. That's always a key for me. If it tries to breach the pre-market low, fails once, then consolidates higher, makes a run at the top, guys. I'm going to take a shot shorting off of this, but the breakout is also going to be on. So 181 break on IBIO, but I am going to short in front of it first. That's just how I do. Moderna just broke 145, a little closer to VWAP, and we'll get out of that one.
Okay, good. Yeah, great trade on Moderna. We're getting out, like I said, we're getting out of Neo, and I just want to thank Jarhead and Daryl there for the love on the chat. I mean, it means a lot to us to keep that going. So thank you so much for that. And then more love on the chat too, I guess. Someone just mentioned NAOV, and yeah, we're back to $2 here. I think this is probably worth taking it out. We've absolutely destroyed this stock.
No, hold it.
What was that?
Hold the long.
Oh, hold the long. I don't know. I mean, It's not like it's that great. I mean, anyone could get this long 170. It's at 192 right now. I'll take the advice. Yeah, sure. I mean, look at all these halts here. So we'll wait. If we're lucky enough to get this at 223 again, then hell to yeah, we'll take it. But Neil, if you're saying hold the long, maybe are you long now or?
I just finished saying that if it broke to the upside to take the breakout trend, I missed it. And I don't want to chase it here because the next level up is going to be, and I'm just looking at my chart here. It's at 210 for me, and I don't want to chase them. I thought this would be a 130 play. So I've definitely missed it. I'm trying to get into IBIO here, so I'm going to get some shares of that one in front of a 180, and I'm doing far too many things at this time of day. Inexcusable to have missed that trade, but if you're deeper in the money, you got to go ahead and do it. I did just get out on mRNA, and this is just going to look a little bit flukish, but every single out has managed bottom turn 147, bottom turn 145.80. Bottom turn 142.88, so 143 area, right in front of VWAP. Every now and then it works. But Moderna, 2 days ago, I got wrecked on this stock, just so you guys know. And it was really, really tricky to trade. I feel like from now on, when I trade Moderna, I'm going to wait until it's like past 10 o'clock and then take a more defined level because that just seems the way to go. But I do like, the reason I like that setup for you on NAOV, Sean, is that 150 is just such a good out. And it's like a let it ride type level. The risk to reward is great at 170. But at 190, I don't like it because I'm not risking 40 cents, and the next level up is at 210. So that's the reason I couldn't jump into it now. Either you already had this break, you took it in consolidation, or you got the 170 like yourself. But chasing it to me isn't the right way to go. I just feel like it was going to prime to make a bit of a move here. 11 o'clock, guys. There's a thing called Europe, and we give updates every single day, and Valeria does it at the big screen.
Hey guys, European shares are mixed today. Russia is up 1.33%. Spain is up 0.71%. Germany is down 0.56%. And Britain is up 1.03%. GFS stock trading in London is up 7.64% after Garda World increased its takeover bid to almost $6 billion. Back to traders.
Okay, so we reversed the long on NEO. Again, we were talking about the love for the short. That's why we covered it. It goes long to 45, and now we're ripping to the high side and more outs here as we get out on the day's high here of NEO. XPeng, not so good. We wind up losing on that one. We only took it out one time. We were thinking for a home run, but then you can see it again. We do reverse long on the 54 break. So again, this is a 53.50 out 54, so that's about a 70-cent loser. Now we go back into the money, almost the same. So it's going to be a little bit of a wash trade if I take it out up top, but we'll wait to see. XPeng giving some money back here the last little bit, and again, I think it's 11:02, so we're getting close to some of this time. But right now, NAOV up to 90. I think we'll probably take this out at some point there. We'll wait though. Palantir still 40 cents in the money, and now XPeng 50 cents and NEO 30 cents. So good couple trades on now, all longs. As you can see, we flipped real quick there back over to the long after getting stopped out and then reversing. So I mean, the EV space is wild. This is nuts.
And it's a good thing I'm not in any of the EV space right now because I'm all short. So Sean's got all the longs. I'm more in the pink shorts today, I suppose. I guess you only get the pink shorts if you short Tesla and survive. But either way, it's a kind of a fun concept. IBIO, thank goodness I was able to get some shares here at 75. I was trying to scramble to also get shares when it broke down at the 74, but I didn't get them. So 168, we'll get some out in front of VWAP as well. Hopefully this tracks all the way to 150. I start taking profit at 5 cents because where was my out? 4 cents higher. That was that top there at 179. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Just checking on Micron once again. More all-time highs, or recent highs anyways, for Micron through 69 there. 2.75% now. We mentioned there's 2 upgrades on this one this morning. A little volume spike though as we made day highs coming in once again for Micron, guys.
Okay, Shakib, I see you there. Don't worry, we've got the water. Thank you for the compliments on my complexion. I'll tell my wife that's going well. She buys all the products and whatnot. I have no idea what we're doing on that front, but good call there. Thank you, Shakib. We will keep on doing that, and we go bang for the XPEV win there as well. We take that name and just take that off at day's high, 55 and change. We got the day's low and the day's high. Not bad, but I wish we had more money on this name.
Well, I mean, ideally, that's not even the day's high, right?
Not yet. We don't know where that's going to go.
No, you never jinx anything. I'll knock on. These aren't actually real wood, believe it or not, but we'll knock on it anyways. Little superstitious. We actually talked about that in a video. What superstitions do you have? So there was this stock today, and I just want to only go over it now because there's going to be missed opportunities. Ears was a fantastic stock that was brought to you by Brendan live on the show. It was a great shot. Always go back to what might have been one of the 1, 2, or 3 hottest stocks that you were trading or looking at, and then go back and look at them today because in the afternoon there was in the aftermarket, sorry, there was this sort of both breakdown after the close and sort of afternoon support at 480 that could not get past this 465 mark. Right here in the pre-market, it bounced up and tried to test, failed shy of that high, tried to test at the open, failed shy again. Those are the reasons why you jump into a short trade, especially on day 2 when you get a parabolic mover like this. Okay, the reason I brought this up because I wanted to say parabolic, Sean. There's that parabolic move upside. You can see it on the daily chart. You can see it even better on the 15. When you see that on day 2, if it's still selling off and rejecting levels, lower highs, got to go short on those ones. That was a fantastic shot on ears. We'll keep our ears to the ground as Brendan always does for more names. Brendan, what's up?
I just saw this one popping up if my chart will ever load. Yeah, Spotify is not in NF, wherever that is. Here we go. All-time highs, guys, for Spotify. Huge volume coming in. Just going to check on this one.
Oh, hell yeah. Spotify, another one that I have in my account from its direct listing days. So that's a big trade there. Okay, those are some of my strategies. Like whatever we spend money on, I kind of just invest in that. So that's why we have Apple from a long time. I actually was first ever smartphone I got was the very first Apple iPhone. So that's actually paid for itself hundreds of times over now with just buying the stock. And then Spotify, another name there. NEO breaking again today's high. So good trading on NEO. And then NAOV, I should have took it out there, but we'll wait on that. It doesn't matter. We'll wait till that one comes back. And then the other stock, again, we're trying to trade a little bit of Bitcoin as it bounces around 19, but I'm not doing anything here. Just trying to pick up some bottoms. I actually just gave away a little bit of money on that one, guys.
Yeah, fantastic advice there. But like it's a great starter point for investing, and I'll take it a little step further than that. I've never used an Apple phone, but I love Apple. My entire family. I'm the only person. I don't know if you know this, Sean, but like my dad is obsessed. He's like literally the Apple fanboy. The first computer we had was an old Mac back in the 80s. But I got a BlackBerry, guys. There you go. There's my BlackBerry. And yet I'm shorting BlackBerry, and it finally went. I mean, believe it or not, the stock can actually move. So I took some out when it broke that 780, so 75s. A few more out here at 67. The first short was good. The second short, not. The third short, not. I even had a long breakout, which didn't work. So trying to claw back to positive on BlackBerry today. I feel like if I had only taken, the first conviction trade at 770, and then this is a rollover. Like we just got this same type of trade on IBIO. This is really what I got to do better at getting. You look at that pre-market, that high, and when you have a short that you liked that stops you out and then tries to break out, fails to do so, this is where you want to get in right here at 810, 815. I missed that. I don't get you till VWAP, which is fine. It's going to be a winning trade, at least this last one. But you got to do. I got to do a little bit better for that trade there. Certainly, one of the things when we review the trades, don't just sort of say, okay, I won here, lost on that one, won, I'm 50-50 on it. No. What could you have done execution-wise better? Could you have improved on that win? Could you have held it longer? How good were your targets? Was my stop in the correct place? Was I disciplined when it hit my stop? Those are all things you have to consider, not just the P&L of your trade, which is important, obviously, but it's not the only thing that matters, guys.
No, that's for sure. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the show. I did want to thank everybody for watching, joining, hitting the likes. The one thing we didn't talk about too much today was why not hit the shares? I mean, you could hit the shares there as well. Tell all your friends about the show. We love it. And welcome back, Jarhead, as well. Nice to see you back, my friend. Okay, we're looking here. We got a note from Jeff Mendel there, VP, and our friend who's been on the show a couple times about Royce the 5'9". I don't know if anybody knows who that is. It's obviously talking about Rolls Royce right now. If you know who Royce the 5'9" is, then yeah, we could be good friends. Okay, there it is. This is doing absolutely nothing. So I got in and out for flat there, and I don't know, man, all the way to 225. I just want to show you how ridiculous this looks. So you may be able to take a break here on this. I mean, it's just been doing absolutely nothing for an hour. So I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. If you see me in and out of it, I'm not. I was in at 62 and out at 62. And so nothing happening there. I just was scared that maybe I got the break the wrong way and nothing happened. So shout out to Jeff there. Thanks for bringing that up. 23 million shares. Maybe something on Royce. And if you look, Rolls Royce, if you do look here, it's down pretty good today, man. We were cruising at about 350. Well, you can tell it's down 51%. But this stock, if you want to maybe make a YOLO trade, I don't know enough about it. We'll find out what Royce's problem is here. But a nice little bottom of 140, you could try to use that. But remember, it's pink sheets, guys. So some accounts may not be able to trade over there.
I'm slipping because it took me a minute. It was like the second time you said Royce the 5'9". I finally made the reference. I'm like, okay, a little too slow on that one. Gotta step up that game because it's obviously a good look. I do want to go back over to the Cat B. Tell me somebody got this because I mean, wow, Brennan comes with the news. That's why one of the reasons we do this is not just the stocks that we see or the stocks that are on the free watch list for you guys to be able to look at, but what moves after the open, like what is following through? What has a volume spike? What's an actionable trade that maybe you weren't looking at 8:30 in the morning? Cat B definitely going to be the top of that list. It was a great shot to short it through $3 here. Look at the follow through. I mean, exactly the follow through, which is not yet happening on BlackBerry, which I mean, that NXTD, it's in the money for me, but again, not quite happening in that name either. It's certainly happening in Cat B. So I hope someone got it here, but it is rounding into a point where this was chop at 9:30 at the open. This was a pullback support right here at about like 215 or so. So this 205 to 215, I don't know how much further it's going to go before maybe trying to at least bounce back to the upside. So if I had it short, I'd certainly be all out of it. And if I'd gotten short off of VWAP here, I'd be certainly taking profit in front of it. I don't know that it's going to be good for a secondary bounce, but some consolidation down here around this price makes some sense to me. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
First off, nothing that I can see on Spotify, just the technical break, I guess, through that 300. They chose today to run it up through 300 all the way to 315 on Spotify. I wanted to mention this one as well. CLRB, which is Selectar Biosciences. No headlines on this either, but big volume just came in. This thing just broke $2 for CLRB, guys.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to ask you that, Brendan, because I was looking at Spotify now. Why am I still on Royce here? We were looking at Spotify, and I was going to say, like, why did it do that? Because, again, as a shareholder, I try to pay attention to when they've got, new talent on. Did yours go to NF as well? Mine did there on Spotify. I heard Brendan mention that again. Over here at Day Trade the World, there's over 65 markets worldwide. NF, I don't know. We just launched Newfoundland, or not Newfoundland. Yeah, Newfoundland Stock Exchange. Not Netherlands. What was the one we just released? I'll get back. Oh, New Zealand. That's what it was. So maybe that's part of what that is. But here goes Spotify. Yeah, man, a break of 300. Wow. I don't know. Could have that been it? Have we broke 300 before on Spotify? No, the highest. Yeah. Well, 301 back there. That's probably what it was. I'm going to go with technical break as well. Might be a good shorting opportunity if that is exactly the case. NEO still 50 cents in the money. Looking at. Again, come on, charts. NEO still 50 cents the money, looking at days high. We'll take it out if it gets back up there, guys, 45.60. Let's just take that out and just finish our very, very successful day. NEO actually now the #1 stock for me today off some of those last couple calls here. Beautiful short, beautiful short. We've only been in this twice, and then we go long right now, taking it out at the high of the day. So NEO back up to the board. My #1 stock you can see on board now, though. A lot of profitability. Let's go, NEO. Maybe I hold this, guys. There it goes. It breaks the high of the day. And here it is, man. 60-cent win on NEO. Let's keep the party going.
That's me. Well, we don't have the graphics today, guys. So that's the bang for NEO. I was just looking at the, you can see at the end of the chart there, yesterday's for pre-market action, getting towards those levels as well on NIO. We talked a little bit about Disney with our guest today, Mark Roberts, and I think we're all in agreement liking Disney. It is grinding towards some of those tops. Now, it's not there yet. It's not the biggest mover on the session. But it is starting to get towards yesterday's high, that 151.40. We talked about 153 to the upside as well. So NEO on the brain. It's a great trade. Disney on the move as well. I'd love to see this one break that level, test that top, which it's basically a matter of time before 153 breaks. So don't miss it when it does, guys. But yesterday's high could be good for a trade as well, that 151. I have it as 151.40. On our charting system, maybe off by a penny or so, but that looks like a good level here on Disney, which is approaching rapidly.
Yeah, Disney, my largest shareholder position that I have in my investment account is Disney. So super happy with the way that one's playing out. Very, very good. Let's check back on AMD. Makes a big move to 96 and then pulls straight back in. Now forming a level, man. What time is 11:14? This is not the reason why I keep looking over at time. The market gets slow. I don't need to tell you guys this. If you're a beginning trader, a lot of the trades, the bigger ones, of course, will happen off the open. So you got to watch out once it starts settling down a little bit here because people will start clearing out their books and just getting out of positions. You could get some bigger block orders here that tend to affect the market, but we'll wait. 95.20 there, a good level on AMD. Coming back in now as the NASDAQ stays high. So we got to watch out. I believe this is profit taking. AMD's been going not parabolic, but it's been going nice here. We're long here off of some long calls, 96. Let me know if you're long. Oh, another stock that we went long at 35, and it's embarrassing how great that fill was. I actually got one at 38 and at 35. But let's go back over to Donkey Kong right now and have a quick look at DraftKings. I know a lot of you guys loving this. This is where we loaded up, right here. Honest to God, those of you that have been watching, you know what we're talking about on Halloween. This just came all the way down, and what we did was we looked for some support. The same thing we did did on JPM, the same thing we did on AMD, and we're doing it again right now on DraftKings long there. I took some off at 49 the other day when we did it. Maybe it was 48, 47 when we cracked above this 50 period, trying to stay, somewhat responsible. I see this fail up here at 55, which is letting me know that maybe I need to take another part off of DraftKings today after the show is over. I think that's well worth it. And then we'll go back long again if we do crack above 55 again. But DraftKings, congratulations, anybody long that name. I love that Mark talked about Twilio today as well. That's a big name. Speaking of DraftKings, it's a little crazy. I almost forgot that there's still actually a game today because the NFL is figuring this thing out so well. Someone in the chat this morning was like Ravens or Steelers, and I forgot to bring it up. The Steelers are going to win. The Ravens don't have their quarterback. How could you even ask that question? RG3 was a fantastic hurdler as a quarterback in the NFL. I don't like his chances. I'm not sure what the line is, but whatever it is, I can't see the Steelers. I can't see the Ravens covering it. Brendan, what's up?
I was just going to mention this. Auris Medical, one from yesterday, big high flyer. Yesterday, if you remember, had a huge move from $1 up to $6.50. Ended the day around this $4 area. It was about 10:30. If you fast forward to 10:30, I think it was around there. They came out with an offering. So they announced an offering just about an hour ago for EARS. Not really doing anything, though, guys. Ears. Okay. Good little trade there with ears. We'll look at that. We'll get our ear to the ground. Bad pun once again on that one. But we'll wait to see what it wants to do. We're into Royce there, and we get out right away again. All I'm doing is taking hits on it, but it's moving. So hard to complain. There we go. We're in and out again at 63. Not doing anything with it, but it's moving and it's a good trade. Yeah, it's 10 points tonight. Look, I can't believe the spread on the Seattle game, guys, was 6.5. I actually had that Seahawks 6.5, and then they caught a Hail Mary right at the end of the game there, and then went for 2, and actually, like as if that's not rigged, but and then actually wind up covering the spread there. So yeah, mistake on that. So I never thought the Philadelphia Eagles would cover against Seattle. So 10 points tonight doesn't seem like enough, but.
Garbage time. That's the thing about garbage time, right? Like it's just it happens to you. But the thing is, you need a quarterback that can throw the rock to do something in garbage time. And I don't know. RG3 seems like a fantastic human being, and he was he's a great athlete, certainly. But I just don't think they have a chance. I feel like the cannabis space has gotten away from me today because I was only looking at Sundial today. Just checking back on ACB here. This name made a fantastic double bottom. I just said to Brent, one of the things, he's like, why would you bring up Cat B again? It was a missed opportunity. It sucks. Yeah, I know, but going over the things that set up that you should have had, that you usually look for, but you didn't get, ask yourself why it happened. When you get something like this, like a hard retracement on ACB, let me zoom out just a little bit more so you can see this. Look at the bottom in the afternoon, 963, gap up, entire cannabis space back up, rolls right over. So if you're doing the rollover trade, which I was doing in Sundial, not ACB for the short, when it bounces and holds one of these levels, does it right at 930, 985, gives you a retest and then holds, that's the bottom pick that you're looking for. And when it bounces off of it, maybe you catch it back through 10 with a stop at the low, risking 15 cents, and then it goes back up. I've tried and failed at a few bottom picks, but usually when it works, it's because I have that level from the day before that works out, and then it's right at 930 where when you have a retracement like this, a lot of times what steps in on that initial flush is a big whale buyer who's anticipating the continuation of that sell action and just patiently waiting to turn the stock. And then if that buyer still has some shares that they want to execute below $10, maybe it happens again. So you see something like that, you go for it. That happened on ACB. Just wanted to make sure threw that one out there for you guys. Of course, I was only trading Sundial because it's, I don't know, I'm sort of addicted to it, I guess.
It's Sundial, right? I mean, that's your stock. So you all got to have stocks you're loving, and I think that's a good call. Keep trading the stocks. If you're in the cannabis space, some of them are trade kind of crazy. If there is one that you like, hit it, guys. And Neil picked Sundial. I like that stock, too. How many shares is it today, Neil?
300. 300 million is actually on the low end for the last week.
I want to look at it after that. That's a big one. Sundial. Okay. All right. Bitcoin, we're short again, but it's just ripping up against us, so we'll have to wait to see if we get out of that one. This is what I want to talk to you guys about. Our friend NIO. Darn it, again, I guess I can say that now because we were long here, guys. We got out at 46. Now it's 46.18. Neil, my number one stock today. We've crushed the short, and then we went long 45.05 there and took that clean dollar when now, sorry, was it 45? Yeah, 45.05. Get out 45.95 there. Now it's 46 and change. So congratulations again, anybody with this NEO, as it's just making new highs. Our XPEV, we got out of that one. That's making new highs. It's the electrical vehicle kind of day here. I said Workhorse 21. I haven't looked at it, so let's see where that is. It didn't make it past 21. There was the level right there. Ooh, wow, what a good level that was. Called that, but did not break. Workhorse, slow to the party here today, guys. This may pick up, but remember, Li Auto. Oh, let's check out Li Auto quickly. These are all Chinese names that have battled back. Workhorse, American company, so does not fall into the same category. What up, Beep?
I was just going to mention NVIDIA here, guys. We talked about the connection with Amazon for a couple other companies. This is the latest one. So NVIDIA teaming up with AWS to provide them with some technology. So a little volume spike on NVIDIA, 544 up to 545 here. 2% now for NVIDIA.
Never forget about NVIDIA, guys. Certainly, it happens. I mean, when AMD is like, but this goes right back to what you were just saying, Sean, about like Sundial, right? Like, sure, NVIDIA is good, and we talked about how MU sort of gets missed out, but if AMD's the best opportunity, it doesn't like, even if 3 stocks in the same sector are going to make a good move, right? And you know you hammer one the best, you just jump to that one. Forget about trying to catch everything and just hit what you will hit the best, right? I don't know, it's like a baseball analogy, like if you're a fastball hitter, hunt the fastball and let the other ones go by. I don't know. That's the best I can come up with there. I do want to come back, if I can, very, very briefly, because Sean had just mentioned Workhorse. So 21, right? Trouble getting past there. This is a top end break that I was looking at the 265. Able to get some out, 2 legs out here, 83, the next leg out here at 94, and then what happens? It rejects hard off of 21. I get trailed out the rest of 21.50. When it rejects a level like that, that's a key one, 21, that's why I'm going to get out and get trailed out. I have no problem with that every single time. I want to hold through because if it breaks 21, it's either a place to add to your position or hold for the bigger move. But either way, when you get a top break, always take profit out in front of a key resistance point like that on Workhorse at 21 even, guys.
Okay, yeah, and again, that's why we're looking at that as a breakout spot. So, but yeah, not happening right now. What up, Beep?
So it's Ambarella and NVIDIA teaming up with AWS on some compression data technology. So Ambarella here, AMBA, up 7.3%. This one had the better move, obviously, on that news, 79 up to 86. On a big pop for AMBA. They do high definition 4K video compression, guys.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah, good one, Umbrella there. I was just looking to see here. Got in and out of Royce, the 5.9 there, but not much happening other than that. Palantir back, good trade here. We're leaving Palantir alone. Only 5 minutes to go in the show. I would say Palantir has still some violent moves to go. I would watch out for 22 break one more time. They tried it. I don't know what happened there. Well, I do know what happened. We crushed it all the way to the downside, 21.20. I think that happens again, guys, so get ready for a 22 break on Palantir. I like that trade.
You say 5 minutes. I always hawk like the same artist that you guys have never heard of, but check them out when you can. The 5 minute freshen up. That's what the stock is doing for you guys. It's going to freshen up, and then it's going to make another break for Sean there. But check out Ryan Leslie's fantastic artist. IBIO continuing to the downside here. It just touched VWAP, and I think I said I don't like executions right at VWAP. I do like them at even levels, so if you see me take some off at 165, it's because it's 65, not because it's VWAP on the chart. I'll get some out in front of 160. The bottom of the day, 150 is the ultimate out, so I have all my bids out. In case it falls to that price, we'll be good to go. The rollover was a good one. I probably could have at least considered on this little consolidation and then pop back up, maybe getting into more shares, but the volume was dying down, and it just didn't feel like it was going to be the right place. I stuck with what I had. Either way, IBIO looking like it's going to do a nice little push to the downside. As long as it holds below VWAP, I think we wouldn't have any trouble getting these targets to the downside, which it could not break past. So our best out in the morning was at 155. I think if I get that for the final 20% of the position, I'll be very, very happy with that trade in IBIO.
Okay, yeah, IBIO, good name there, and thank you to bring that to our attention and our viewers as well. Yeah, shoot, I'm losing. Like I'm trying to. Here's Bitcoin. I just went long again on a break of 20 and got out at 17. It's been a tough one lately on GBTC. That is for sure. AMD still high side. So the only real ideas I have here, with just a few minutes to go. First of all, thank you so much for all of the love on the show today for both Neil, myself, all three of us, Brendan, and of course Valeria, who knew she was such an artist. But okay, $20 CCL today. Good look, guys. We talked about breaking that 20 there on the day's high. We also talked about breaking through 1950 early. Man, did it reject that 1950 hard before coming all the way back down to 1920, and then boom to the upside. So watch out. CCL going to be on my radar tomorrow for sure. And
yeah, just I don't know, threw it in the chat there. I'm just kind of curious. Should Sean trade me, Josh Allen, as the biggest Bills fan in the pool for a first-round pick in Zach Ertz? He seems to think no, but I think it's an offer. I think it's a solid offer.
Yeah, it's a good offer. There's no doubt. But I have Dak too, right? So Dak is just chilling out on the sidelines right now. We'll hope that he can come back next year and do that. So we'll wait to see.
If I had Aaron Rodgers, I'd do it for you.
Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers is also 36, and Josh Allen is, or 38. I think Josh Allen's a little younger than that. We play in a keeper dynasty pool, basically, where we keep 9 players, and we've been in it since high school, which is greater than 20 years ago. Okay, what's up, Brendan?
Oh, God, it was 20 years ago?
Oh, God.
There's a thought. Yeah, lots to get through today, guys, when it comes to earnings. Earnings, and more earnings. There's actually some decent ones coming up after market tonight and before the open tomorrow. Let's have a look at that. Yeah.
Oh, look at Snowflake.
Oh, there's the board there. Someone said, why do I trade GBTC if it's never a winner? It's often a winner, believe me. Okay, Splunk. Okay, Dollar General. I think Dollar General could get spicy, especially with some China talk now as well. And then other than that, TD Bank here in Canada, a good one. And then look what's on the left there. I love CrowdStrike and then even Guess, Neil. We've been trading a lot of retail names, so we'll look to see about that one. I don't have any options plays for any of these names. If I do, I'll post them up on Twitter later on. But right now, maybe PVH is a little overbought, but we'll look at some of these names.
Yeah, and definitely going to look at Snow. And I want to shout out a trader on the floor, obviously not with us, but a fantastic trade on Snow. On the open there, Gus. So we'll look to see if we can't find some action in that name again tomorrow. Probably a better look to show you on the higher time frame just how, and it never trade 27, but you know, look at this fantastic run it's been on. It was absolute insanity trading or trading this thing. I mean, I got away with shorting it on the first day, believe it or not, and honestly, it was probably not even the smartest decision, even though it won. But that long has been unbelievable in Snowflake, so that should be a good one for tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I can go for this, the National Day. Yeah. I mean, I like a pastry form, but there's also, you can have different kinds here. This is, I think, is different. Valeria, what National Day is it?
Thank you, Neil. And hey, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Here's another art for you. You can see rocket full of thumbs ups going to the moon, and down below, Brandon, Neil, Sean, and me standing happy. It's a reminder for you to hit thumbs up if you haven't yet. And happy National Fritters Day, everyone.
Corn fritters, definitely.
Hard to beat. Hard to beat fritters, man.
Yeah,
I mean, man. To take one of Neil's lines, like, I'm not going to lie. That fritters pretty nice there. Thank you for that, Valeria. Yeah, look, it's been a big day, Neil. You know that. We all know that. Thank you to all of our viewers as well. You know, we're back tomorrow. 8:30. I think the 8:30 has been a great addition, and we're glad that you guys like it as well.
And you know what? Another thing, too, guys, we're working through a lot of issues. What you guys did not see is our crew. So I just honestly, you guys, Rob, Lucas, RIT, Mark, Juan, you guys did a fantastic job, like scrambling, making sure that we could put what we were able to do for you guys here. Believe me, it was like 8:15, and it was a bit of a mess around here. All we had to do is what we normally do, prepare to trade. These guys made it happen, and it's been a fun show. An exciting one. Hopefully, it's not yet the high of the day there, Sean, on NIO. I certainly hope not. But, we got to get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the support and the love for the entire team. Our budding artist, Valeria, my man, Sean Katina. He's got the lighter blue. Brendan's got the middle blue shirt. I'm Neil Roberts in the dark blue shirt. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.